Years ago, state government proposals reported in the Advertiser show officials appealed to King Charles's environmental interests to try to lure him to SA. But the royals only visited Sydney and Canberra on their 5-day trip. Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
From designer to traditional or contemporary, there's a Gliderol garage door to match your home. Gliderol.com.au.
Good morning, Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. Yannick Sinner has made it back-to-back Wimbledon crowns with a 4-set win after dropping the first set against Alexander Zverev in the final. It's the Italian's 5th Grand Slam title overall. The world number one with kind words for his German opponent post-match.
Keep going. I know another goal is for you to become number one in the world. You're very, very close, so we need to have to be very careful now. So, but congrats.
Essendon interim coach Dean Solomon says he's willing to overlook a poor game from Zach Merritt in last night's loss to Brisbane. The former captain kept to just 11 disposals in the 90-point loss. The result means the Lions are now up to 4th, relegating the Crows to 5th after round 18. There were 2 other games to wrap up the round yesterday. Melbourne keeping its top 4 hopes alive with a 46-point thumping of Richmond, while the Bulldogs outlasted a determined West Coast by 16 points at Marvel Stadium. Well, the Bazball era is over. Brendan McCullum sacked as England's test coach, but the New Zealander will remain as white ball coach, at least for now. And in some golf, Aussie Minwoo Lee has finished runner-up at the Scottish Open, finishing outright second and only 2 shots behind South Korean winner Tom Kim. Minwoo Lee and several other Aussies will now prepare for this week's Open Championship, the final major of the year. And that's the FIVEAA Sport.
Now the FIVEAA forecast: showers today and 16, easing tomorrow 17, then partly cloudy Wednesday 16 and mostly sunny on Thursday also 16. At the moment 12 on FIVEAA, Always Adelaide.
There's a moment every family hopes for. When you walk in and they're just happy, settled, themselves, and you realise the decision you agonised over was the right one all along. Para Ability Community Care is one of the state's largest and most trusted disability accommodation providers. We're improving lives in small ways every day. Our PAC fully trained carers give your loved one the life they deserve and give you back the relationship you always wanted. Experience our kindness and connection. Visit ourpac.com.au.
You had a dream. Life happened. You parked it. Well, the dream is back. The Honda Prelude returns. Reimagined for right now. For everyone who never stopped dreaming. See the icon for yourself at Formula Honda Glen Osmond or Modbury. The Prelude is reborn with hybrid efficiency, intuitive tech and instant torque. Welcome back, Prelude. Visit Formula Honda at Glen Osmond Road, Glen Osmond or North East Road, Modbury and book a test drive today.
Now, did you know that we've got a little bit of the Netherlands right here in South Australia? If you're wondering where, it's the Dutch Pantry in Clemzig. It's like a little Dutch village where you'll find authentic Dutch products, fresh produce, baked cakes made daily, and a whole menu of delicious Dutch meals in their cafe for brekkie, brunch or lunch.
Now imagine savouring classics like croquettes or mini Dutch pancakes, hot Dutch lunches, and for autumn, a new Dutch soup every week. This is cruel to do this before breakfast. Don't make me read this. How delicious. Eat it in the cafe or find soups in the fresh egg shop and take them home frozen for later. At the moment on Saturdays, they have hot pretzels dipped in cinnamon and sugar to try. The perfect menu for the perfect day out.
Yeah, you're right. This is cruel and unusual punishment. But while you're there, take a leisurely stroll past the windmill, admire the tulips and take a look at the exquisite Delft Blue. Experience the taste of the Netherlands right here in SA at the Dutch Pantry, located on OG Road, Clemzig. Just look for the big windmill.
Doing good has never been easier thanks to the People First Community Lottery. For just $2, go in the draw to win a Toyota Kluger Hybrid while helping local community groups. Visit communitylottery.com.au. T's and C's apply. 700,000 tickets available. SA Lottery licence number M15015.
Knockdown, build 2 with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Live from Hindmarsh Square, it's FIVEAA Breakfast. Will Goodings with Stacey Lee.
8 after 6, good morning to you. Welcome to Monday on FIVEAA Breakfast. It is the 13th of July, and coming up on the program this morning, we'll be talking about this horrific anti-Semitic attack on a home here in Adelaide, the sort of violence We've seen in Sydney. We've seen on the eastern seaboard. We've seen precious little of it here. Unfortunately, it's made its way here now, and the homeowner, Rosti Sverdlov, will join us on the program. He's not cleaning it. He says this needs to stand as the kind of thing people can see and understand. So we'll talk to him after 7 o'clock today. We'll recap what was a big weekend in footy. Big win for the Crows. I was there, called it with Rowie and Tommy Wren. We'll talk to him about that very, very shortly. Also coming up with the program, coming out of that game, more controversy with regard to the coach's walk from the coach's box down into the rooms. Damien Hardwick this time had a bit of an altercation with someone in the crowd, said they should go back to their mum's basement. We'll talk about the crowd coach walk with a man who's done it at a lot of very hostile venues that no longer exist. Graham Corns is going to join us after 8 o'clock today. Friend of the program, John Schumann, will be on as well. He's written a new song about cutting down trees for the MotoGP and the golf and so forth. And if you know anything about John's politics, you won't be surprised about which side of the line he falls on that one. And he'll be joining us in the studio after 8:30. But it is an exciting new era for 5AA Breakfast because over the next 6 months, I'll be joined by the magnificent Stacey Lee. Stacey, good morning to you.
Good morning, Will. How are you?
I'm well. I'm glad you made it in. You're here on time. That's a big tick.
Yeah.
You've already started spectacularly well. So it's good. It's good to have you here. I think what our listeners might not be aware of is you've brought a friend to 5AA Breakfast.
Have I?
Well, Jess Smith.
Oh, of course.
Has also joined the program. Jess has joined the program because Emily Brand, our other producer, is off adding to the population. Child number 3 is
isn't she
is on
just
the way.
doing her bit for the rest of us?
Embarrassing us.
Yeah.
You've got one.
A single child
I've got one. I know. They must look at us like we're just total laggards, I would have thought.
Oh, hey, I'm enjoying the single child family life.
The problem is it feels really hard still.
I know.
But good luck to Emily.
Yes.
Good luck to Emily. So I was thinking about this show, this new show the magnificent little new show that we've got, and it's sort of not a new show. It's 2 shows coming together.
Yeah,
it's like
Arvos and Breakfast.
It's a merger. It's what I was thinking over the weekend. We are officially the Woodville West Torrens of breakfast shows.
And we always battle through the mighty flying eagles wearing gold and green and blue. Sound the siren, turn us loose and watch the feathers fly.
So Woodville West Torrens merged in 1991. They won a premiership in 93, Stacey. So I think
there you go.
That's a good omen.
Well, I'm only here for 6 months. We don't have a year or so.
Well, yeah, let's let our minds wander. Dare to dream. I come up with some more if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, please.
Mergers and amalgamations. 8223 inspired by our program with our new merged breakfast and afternoons programs.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us your favourite mergers or... mergers sounds so corporate. I need a better word for it. An amalgamation, a merger, coming together. I mean, there's none more famous than
Here's the story.
The Brady Bunch.
I like that because it's a blending of families.
It is a blending of families.
Less of a merger.
The 3 sons and the 3 daughters, Mike Brady and Carol, of course.
I like that.
You like that one?
I like that.
That's good. This is almost my favourite because it gives us an excuse to play music is Fleetwood Mac. Because Fleetwood Mac obviously were Fleetwood Mac for about 9 albums before Stevie Nicks and Lindsay Buckingham joined, and then Rumours came out, and 1977 Fleetwood Mac just went from strength to strength. In fact, the album before that they did, but 1977 Rumours had Dreams, Don't Stop, Go Your Own Way, and You Make Loving Fun all on it. Fusion or union, Paddy's saying. Fusion or union, your favourite fusions, unions, amalgamations,
but fusion
or
just
mergers.
makes me think of food.
Well, this program does have a proud history of discussing food.
Less South American, but more Asian. You know when you go to an Asian fusion restaurant and it's a bit of Thai and it's a bit of...
No, I think that's eligible for this competition this morning.
Is it?
Yeah, like the Korean barbecued wings at Hispanic Mechanic. It's Mexican.
It's Mexican and
meets
Asian,
Korean.
yeah.
I think that works too.
Yes.
Food fusion combinations, mergers, amalgamations. What's a good one, folks? 8223 text us on 0448 08 1395.
See, I was assuming we would change it to brunch with
that works.
Will and Stacey.
And what starts at 8 a.m.
Yeah, because
that would have been good.
You know, breakfast and I'm kind of lunch, afternoons, starting at 1. So.
I can't believe that didn't get off the ground with management. that would have been just tremendous. 8223 flick us a text 0448 08 1395, or of course you can watch along on the Facebook and YouTube live stream each and every morning. Thanks to the wonderful people at Walk a Mile. Step up to end homelessness. Walk a mile in my boots. Register or donate today. walkamile.org.au.
You can retire with the confidence of guaranteed income for life. Ascend a Life, protecting Australians' confidence for over 175 years. Always consider the PDS and TMD at ascender.com.au to decide if this product may be right for you.
G'day, Rowie and Timmy G here. Now, we cover all the latest in sport on the 5AA Sports Show podcast. Find it on the 5AA Player app.
As a South Aussie-based not-for-profit health insurer, Health Partners isn't just your health partner. We're your tooth-checking partner, hammy-stretching partner, chart-squinting partner. We're your bone-mending, script-filling, arch-lifting, giving, salad-suggesting, generous limit-giving, member-supporting, SA-loving partner. So for great value health cover, there's no better partner in health than Health Partners. Health insurance made human.
Treat your family and friends to something a little fancy from FIVEAA, your family liquor stores. If you relish your winter reds and you like them full-bodied, we have SA-made Shiraz, Cabernet Sauvignon and Malbec for you. A great way to warm up is with a dram of whiskey, and we have many great Australian distilleries with their own distinct flavours. Beer tastes change too, but you're covered with local craft stouts and porters. FIVEAA, your local independent SA family liquor store for over 50 years.
Now, you know what sneaks up on you? It's not age, really. It's the little things. It's like when mum or dad start avoiding the stairs or when they're just slower than they used to be, and suddenly you find yourself thinking, are they still okay here? Well, that's where Acorn stair lifts can make a real difference.
They're designed to fit pretty much any staircase, straight, curved, whatever your home has, and they just make moving around easier again, so your parents can stay where they're happiest, in their own home, with their independence intact.
If you've ever needed support, there's help available 24/7. So if it's something you've been just quietly thinking about, it might just be worth a look. Just head to acornstairlifts.com.au.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. The Excelsior Hotel has had a makeover. New kitchen, a brand new menu, a fresh new gaming room, plus all-day dining from 12. Come home to something new. Gamble responsibly.
Head to your local Kia dealership and drive away in your new Kia. Enjoy exceptional value on Kia's fully electric, hybrid, petrol and turbo diesel models, like the sporty and stylish Kia K4. From just $33,490 drive away, all backed by Australia's first and still best 7-year warranty. Visit your local Kia dealership today or find out more at kia.com/au.
Kia. Movement that inspires. 5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
Tom Brand will be coming up very shortly with a wrap of the weekend. His winners and losers in sport. I imagine Jude Bellingham and the English national team will be among his winners. I wonder if it's the English diaspora in Adelaide are still nursing headaches as a result of that remarkable victory on the weekend as they see their side go through to the Final Four. We'll talk about that with Tom Wren very, very shortly. We're talking about fusions, amalgamations and mergers to start in the morning. Mm-hmm. It's not a corporate presentation. No. We're trying to work out the language to describe our new show with Stacey on board.
Should I cancel my PowerPoint presentation?
No, look, you just never know. We might need it after 8:30. And Jess Smith, of course, on the program as well. It's a bit of a fusion of shows.
Yeah.
Raymond's got a good idea.
Yeah, I like this.
Raymond says his favourite fusion's bourbon and cola. I mean, that's...
Gin and tonic?
There, that works.
It's way too early on a Monday for that.
What's your drink of choice?
It'd have to be a G&T.
G&T.
If there's not a good wine on the menu.
Yeah, that works.
Always a wine first.
Andrew says, good morning, Stacey. Welcome to breakfast. And Will, how's the recent mega deal of SpaceX acquiring XAI? It's now the biggest in history at $250 billion. That one does work.
See, when we talk mergers, very South Australian angle, I was thinking the uni merger, but we don't. It's still very new, so we don't know how successful that is yet. I don't know if we want to start our merger, basing it on the university merger.
Well, that one, maybe we can take some lessons from it because it feels like it's going to be good.
Hey, if I get a multi-million-dollar payaut, I'd be happy with that.
Our budget's smaller, that's for sure. We haven't had any naming dispute yet, have we, either?
No. Although I did like brunch, but no one else seemed to be on board with brunch.
I would have vouched for brunch. We couldn't get it off the ground. Now, Louis says cars and trucks, buses speeding along Marion Road opposite Drake's. Two bus drivers misbehaving, says Louis. Well, as always, let us know if you see things happening out in the road, 0480 1395. In the meantime, we're going to head to Wimbledon because we have a new men's champion. Mimi Becker is covering the tournament for 9 News in Europe. Mimi, good morning.
Good morning, Will and Stacey. It's exciting. A thrilling match after Wimbledon. I can literally see Yannick Sinner doing a run of media interviews at the moment. He's just wrapped up with our team from Stan, and he is the back-to-back Wimbledon champion, really proving why he's the world number one.
He had to overcome, it was down a set, wasn't he, Mimi?
He was. So he came from behind to take the win against his German opponent, Alexander Zverev. So the final score was in 4 sets. So it was 6-7, 7-6, 6-3, 6-4, and the match lasted close to 4 hours. So it was certainly a marathon effort for both men, and Sinner was really pushed to the limits. He's spoken today sort of saying this is his 5th Grand Slam win, but he says that every time you win, these are 5 great days of his life. You know, so much work goes into it, but ultimately this is one day, one match. So he's certainly riding that high, but has been very gracious in this win, and considering it was so tough a score.
Usually it's the Australian Open, we're talking about the weather, but it's been so hot over in the UK. What was it like for the final?
It was hot today as well, and it was actually incredibly windy. While we've had this sort of run of really hot weather the past few weeks, today the winds really picked up, and Sinner spoke about that as well, saying that it was hard to sort of control the ball in it and to anticipate which way it was going to go. And, of course, then as the sun sets here, it means you kind of lose sight of the ball for a certain part of the game as well. So that certainly adds an element. But they've really felt the heat the past few days. We've seen a lot more ice, we've seen more hydration. So it is been extreme, but today wasn't too bad, but we did see that added factor of the wind as well.
Did crowds warm to him, Mimi? Because he's been a controversial character and he hasn't always received the warmest receptions.
Yeah, I think so, and especially here on the hill at Wimbledon, which is where a lot of everyday sort of punters come to watch the tennis. There was a lot of Italian fans in the crowd, so they had their flags flying, certainly. So I think, you know, people just want to see a good game. At the end of the day, they want to see a close match, and that's what they got. So that's what sort of kept people on the edge.
Good stuff. Good on you, Mimi. Mimi back. You'll see all those pictures tonight on the news of Yannick Sinner's victory at the Wimbledon men's final that took place in the early hours of this morning. Thank you. 82230000. We're after your fusions, mergers, amalgamations. We want some inspiration for our brand new breakfast show this morning. Keep them coming in.
Family, our version of the Brady Bunch.
I think the Brady Bunch feels the neatest, doesn't it? That's an error. You get a good, nice, positive vibe about the Brady Bunch. That works. Mind you, Raymond gets a nice, positive vibe about his bourbon and cola, which works too. So there is some fertile ground there for fusions in food, as Stacey mentioned as well a little bit earlier. Let's talk about bird flu. This has been knocking along since you and I, whilst we've been on leave, obviously. And again, it has some parallels, doesn't it, to the algal bloom, insofar as the concern here is for local industry and some of our native wildlife and some pristine areas like the Coorong. Glenn Hill is a Coorong Wild Seafood Manager and joins us on 5AA Breakfast now. Glenn, good morning to you.
Oh, good morning. How are you?
Good, Glenn. What's your level of concern at the moment, and just tell us what a widespread outbreak in your neck of South Australia would mean for you.
My level of concern, well, it's sort of through the roof, considering we've just had hit after hit of different things since COVID. We just haven't been able to get sort of a clear air at all. And particularly in nature, within the Coorong, it's already not managed at all well. Water releases to keep it in good condition just constantly don't happen. The Murray-Darling Basin is over-extracted. It's as simple as that. And so it's really unhealthy. This has knock-on effects for anything that comes along, and this is going to be no different.
It does feel like it's been hit after hit, as you say, Glenn, droughts, floods, algal bloom, now this. There might be people listening saying, how does bird flu affect someone who works for Coorong Wild Seafood? Can you explain to them how a bird flu might affect you in the seafood industry?
Yeah, so you'd go, oh, well, it doesn't affect fish, but everything is connected. That's the first thing. The second thing, though, is this isn't just going to affect birds. I mean, it's clearly going to pass on to various other animals. So that has its own concerns. That puts us right on the firing line, you know. The second thing, though, is that if this hits as hard as what we're expecting, remember that Australia has never seen this whole strain, not just this iteration, but this whole strain. We've had bird flu, but this is a different one. So what that means is there's really no... they're going to be really susceptible to this. So if we have wholesale dead birds in our waterways, what's that going to mean for drinking water, for cattle? You know, like we're going to have all sorts of disease starting to break out.
Glenn, do you feel that some of those unanswered questions, is there a place you can go to have them answered? Is the government made contact in any way? Is there a way in which you guys on the front line are being told, well, we'll keep you across developments through a website? Is there anything like that?
To be fair, how is the government going to know something ahead of time for something that's never happened here before, like with this strain? They can be ready, and I think after the Carina, we'll just leave it and wait and see. I think they're going to be pretty keen to be on the front foot with this. No, we haven't had any comment yet, but I hope that we're going to. Well, I know that we're going to have some plans in place to see what we can do. But the problem is, what can we do? What can we do? We're going to be. It's going to be suck it and see, isn't it?
Yeah. It just feels, I mean, the Coorong was listed as critically endangered just earlier this year, so it must just feel like, another
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Well, Glenn, as Stacey detailed and as you went through as well, given your run since COVID, you guys are due a little bit of luck. And as Mother Nature can provide it, it would be well and truly welcome. Good on you, Glenn. Thanks for talking to us this morning. Glenn Hill from Coorong Wild Seafood. Let's have a look at the weather here in Adelaide today. Heading for a top of 16, 2 to 7 millimetres expected in the gauge. Tomorrow, top of 17, 1 to 4. Wednesday, a top of 16. Thursday, 16. There's no warm weather if you're holding your breath waiting for it, by the way.
Copy and paste.
Yeah, that's right. Friday is a top of 17. Actually, you know what? I lie. This sounds all of a sudden, imagine how your perceptions change. Saturday and Sunday sounds kind of warm. 18 and sunny.
Oh, yeah.
On Saturday, we'll take that.
Take that.
19 and mostly sunny on Sunday. It's barbecue weather.
Beautiful.
Fantastic.
Well, Tommy Wren's got the shorts on.
He always has the shorts on. He's the worst barometer of the weather on planet Earth, that man. He's impervious to it. He is in the studio there. Rennie, good morning to you. Get to Agostina, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes for the Outlander ES. Drive away from just $39,990.
Great to have you back, Will, and great to have you on board, Stacey.
Thank you, Tom.
On breakfast, that's outstanding. Look, let's get into some winners and losers from the weekend. We'll start with a positive, shall we? The Crows, Will, you and I were calling it. Really comprehensive, biggest win of the year, 79 points. So that was great. They look good. Isaac Rankin was outstanding. Jordan Dawson does what Jordan Dawson always does. The only negative was the injury to Rory Laird, but Hugo Hall-Kahan, we think, will probably come back.
Yep.
I guess the only thing is it has to be tempered by the fact that Gold Coast, they stink. There is a real smell about them at the moment, and you have to wonder, Damien Hardwick, how much of what he did post-game with the fan, and I agree, I don't think it's right for coaches to walk through there, but I think there's also a degree of deflect and totally, put the attention somewhere else, because his side right now is a top 4 side talent-wise, and they're in the bottom 4. They are the biggest disappointment of this season, bar none.
You made the point, Rennie. Round 1, they were premiership favourites.
Yep. and they don't have that many injuries.
No.
And everyone in the competition has injuries, so they were woeful on the weekend. So they're one of the big losers.
And you touched on what Damien Hardwick said after the game. We'll talk about that a bit later in terms of him walking through the crowd. But so just to get it on the record, Rennie, you don't think that opposition coaches or any coaches should have to walk through the crowd at Adelaide Oval?
Well, it's less than ideal. I just, things get fiery, as we know. There's a bit of tension always. I think it's part of and this one in particular, it didn't seem like there was a lot in it, but it can get quite, dicey for coaches walking through with maybe one or two security guards, in this day and age. But particularly at night time, people have had a few drinks. So I don't think it's ideal. I think it's probably better if they go through a tunnel but I don't know logistically how they can manage it.
It's tough because it's the old part of Adelaide Oval.
That's right. So that's the only issue with it. Zach Butters and Port clearly losers from the weekend. Look, Port, I thought at least tried really hard. They played well, given the injuries they had. But Zach Butters, has he played his last game? Maybe.
He should have.
For Port,
it behooves all parties at this point.
I think so
because
too.
Because with the new rules of the draft, it's better off Port finishing bottom four. That's just a fact.
Yep.
With Dougie Cochran coming in as well.
Totally.
And Zach Butters, he's risking $2 million a year if he gets injured. So I think it's a handshake. We're all adults.
And we can tell he's given absolutely everything. And that's just where it's at. So... yeah, look,
not ideal though. If you're Zach Butters and you know you're leaving, you want to have a big last game.
Yeah, it's not a great way to go out. You're right. Yeah,
and he is a heart and soul player, so it's a fair point. Other winners: England and Jude Bellingham. You played the audio. What a win for them. Argentina. I mean, this is the best rivalry almost in the game. The other one...
Well, yeah, it's also the biggest rivalry in the Atlantic for a while as well.
Well, exactly. Falklands War. Yeah, exactly. So that was very... that was massively topical.
Did you guys talk about it all last week, Rennie? Yeah, I'm so jealous of the English fans singing Wonderwall after every game.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
What would we have as an Australian song? Is there any Australian song?
Land Down Under, maybe?
That we'd all sing together? Yeah, Land Down Under. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Men at Work.
Waltzing Matilda, maybe.
They try that. That exists in rugby league, doesn't it?
Good.
This is your territory, Stacey.
I'm not that.
Or is it Union? No, it's Union. The national team sings, I think.
Yes, yeah, but we need to probably find one.
What's our version of Wonderwall that actually all Australians would sing? I reckon it's so hard.
Maybe I Still Call Australia Home would be a good one as well. Peter Allen.
It all feels a bit corny,
yeah,
doesn't it?
It's not us. No.
Now, just while we're on the World Game, they're the winners, England. That was great for them. But FIFA, I think this World Cup's been brilliant. I love it. But FIFA, I think, as soon as they did what they did with allowing Donald Trump to influence them. I think the problem is now, whenever there's a controversial decision in a game, which happens in all sport, everyone goes, "You're corrupt." And it's because they are. And so
exactly
right.
So the accusations are true.
And I don't think they would, get to that level. But this is the problem now. There's this shadow over everything. And Infantino has just totally, left a blight on his name. And when Sepp Blatter's coming out and saying the whole thing looks dodgy, he was the predecessor.
Yeah,
wow.
And he was the dodgiest bloke going around. So not great.
Did it hit well, on that point then, Rennie, did the ball hit a wire?
And the ball hit a wire.
Well, it did, didn't it?
Totally.
They said the chip in the ball that detects contact, nothing to see here. Despite the fact, if that's the case, that ball moved more than any cricket ball I've ever seen swing. That moved more than my slice playing golf, Rennie. Like, that ball had a mind of its own.
That was so obvious. Norwegian fans have every right to be aggrieved after that, because the ball would have gone an extra 10 metres. It wouldn't have come back as quickly as it did. Wouldn't have been a goal. Not to be. And quickly, Brendan McCullum, England, they're also losers. He's been sacked as test coach overnight, so that's a big decision.
The end of Bazball.
Gone. So finally, English cricket since the Ashes and during the Ashes, a total mess. So they've finally seen the light, and he is no more.
Were there any winners there, or was it just all losers?
It was a lot of losers.
Yeah.
Yannick Sinner and Lyndon Oscar.
Rennie's grumpy.
Yeah, I'm a bit grumpy.
This is Rennie's version of grumpy.
The biggest smile you've ever seen.
Thank you, Tom.
Good on you.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers and 16 with the 6:30 news. Good morning, I'm Kendall Brettig.
Need a crash repairer you can trust? FIVEAA Panel Services delivers expert care to you and your vehicle.
A teenager has been arrested for driving at an extreme speed at Salisbury East yesterday. The P-plater was clocked by a mobile traffic camera on Clayson Road doing 107 k's in a 50 zone. The 17-year-old boy has been charged with aggravated extreme speed, speed dangerous and contravening his provisional licence conditions. He's lost his licence for 12 months and his car's been impounded for 28 days. Support for One Nation continues to slip as the coalition makes up ground. Michael Packey has details.
The latest Resolve poll has voter support for One Nation down 3 points to 26%, while backing for the coalition has risen by the same amount, but the party is still in third spot, with Labor in the lead. The research maintains strong backing for some of Pauline Hanson's policies. For instance, more than half of those surveyed agree with her assertion many young workers are lazy. But Senator Hanson is losing support among voters aged 18 to 34, some immigrants and women. The Resolve data shows Anthony Albanese is again preferred Prime Minister over Senator Hanson.
Universities around the country are now legally required to meet new racism and anti-Semitism standards under new federal government reforms. Changes include requiring unis to adopt recognised definitions of hate and provide yearly reports to the regulator. Education Minister Jason Clare says the hate towards university students is not tolerable.
Universities have made some improvements, but there's still more work that needs to be done, and that's why we're changing the law. Universities will be required to have plans and have processes and policies in place to tackle things like anti-Semitism and all types of hate.
It comes after a Jewish family's house was spray-painted with swastikas and anti-Jewish graffiti in Camden Park over the weekend. The US and Iran are trading strikes amid the collapsing ceasefire in the Middle East. Washington says it struck 140 Iranian targets, including missile and drone sites. In response, Tehran says it's hit military bases in Qatar, Jordan, the UAE and Kuwait. 27 people have been killed in a pub fire in Bangkok. Fire crews battled for half an hour to control the blaze. There are fears there are still bodies inside the venue. Filling out paper forms on arrival will soon be a thing of the past for millions of travellers to Australia. Digital passenger cards will be rolled out at all international airports and seaports over the next 18 months after a successful trial. Acting Transport Minister Christy McBain says the move will speed up the arrivals process.
Visitors and Australian travellers alike will be able to take advantage of a simpler border process, which will be as simple as checking in for the flight on your phone. A simpler, clearer border process means it'll be faster to process people through our customs too.
And pioneering cancer researcher Professor Richard Scolyer is being farewelled at the Sydney Opera House this morning. The former Australian of the Year died at 59 after a battle with brain cancer. Around 2,500 people are expected to fill the concert hall for his state funeral. Turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage doors are proudly and brilliantly made right in South Australia. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you for that, Kendall. Adelaide has finished round 18th in 5th spot after Brisbane leapt past them after thumping Essendon by 90 points in the late game last night at the Gabba. The Bombers had managed only one goal to three-quarter time, but at least got some respectability in the final term, booting 7. Meantime, the MCG remains a fortress for Melbourne after a thumping 46-point win over Richmond. Jacob Van Rooyen kicked 6 goals in the Demons' 9th win at the ground. Teammate Daniel Turner saying the young forward is getting reward for hard work at training.
Rui is just, he's in some great form, but it's the work he's doing that probably you don't see on the TV. His work rate's second to none, and I'm just glad to see him getting a lick of the ice cream because he's such a contested beast.
And there was one other game yesterday to wrap up the round. The Bulldogs 16-point winners over West Coast. Let's get to tennis. Jannik Sinner has successfully defended his Wimbledon title, coming from a set down to beat Alexander Zverev in 4 sets. The result means the Italian has now won 5 Grand Slam titles. Meantime, South Aussie Cruz Hewitt has lost the final of the boys' final at Wimbledon, losing a tight 3-setter to American Lee Jordan. Let's go to cricket, and the baseball era is over in the Test arena after Brendan McCullum was released from from his position as Test coach. It comes after the English had a disastrous Ashes tour and then just lost a series at home to New Zealand 2-1. And in some golf to finish, Tom Kim has won his first title in 3 years, taking out the Scottish Open overnight. Aussie Min Woo Lee finished second. He was 2 shots behind. Kenny, that is the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tom. Now the 5AA forecast: showers today, heading for 16. Showers easing tomorrow, 17. Partly cloudy Wednesday, 16. And mostly sunny Thursday, also 16. At the moment, 12 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Got something big to budge? Budget with Budget. Little trucks, big trucks. You can do it all in a budget rental truck. Get exactly what you need and at a great price too. So remember, whatever you've got to budget with a budget rental truck.
Budget with a budget renter truck. It's quick and cheap. Well, half your luck when you budget with a budget renter truck.
Budget car and truck rental. Call 13 27 27. That's 13 27 27.
There are many reasons why Steinborner Automotive is well worth the trip, with over 400 cars in stock across 10 yards in Gawler, Barossa and Clare, including Steinborner Mitsubishi and Yuri Utpa, with a great selection of the best value new demo and low kilometre Triton, Pajero, Sport, ASX and Outlander. Along with outstanding service from our award-winning staff, you know it's well worth a trip to Steinborner Mitsubishi. View our whole range of Mitsubishi at steinborner.com.au.
Ladies, is the need to wheel the time making your life a misery? Caruso's Wee Less to the rescue. Caruso's Wee Less contains Schisandra chinensis, a fruit extract traditionally used in Chinese medicine to relieve urinary frequency. So if your need to wheel the time is getting in the way of your social life, try Caruso's Wee Less today. Caruso's Wee Less is made in Australia, comes with a money-back guarantee and is available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
20 to 7 coming up next hour on 5AA Breakfast. We're going to be chatting with the man whose home was vandalised with anti-Semitic messages. Rosti Sverdlov. He's not cleaning it because he wants people to see it. He wants people to be aware. This isn't Sydney. This isn't happening in Melbourne. This is happening here in Adelaide. He'll be on the program after 7 o'clock today. Also, Bronte Manuel, Toop and Toop. Every day there's a new headline about housing prices.
House prices.
And no one in the federal government wants to say that this was all part of the plan, despite the fact that clearly housing affordability must involve a component of price depreciation. But nonetheless, Bronte will tell you what's going on here in Adelaide. Big breaking up coming up after 8 o'clock today as well. And we've got lots of texts coming through, Stace.
We do, yes. We're talking about blended families or mergers, fusions today, because our breakfast family and former afternoons family with Jess and I moving to Brekkie. And we thought, what are your favourite fusions or blended families over the years? Ray on the text line, Vegemite and cheese.
That works.
It's iconic.
Yeah.
And that's very Australian.
Quintessentially Australian.
Well.
Yeah,
Yep.
Good one, Ray.
He also says roast lamb and gravy, which is more up my alley. Lamb.
Does anyone eat it without gravy? Surely not.
Well, I was about to say, I don't often eat it with gravy.
Really?
No, the Greeks, it's the tzatziki.
Oh, of course, you're right.
You put it on the pita.
No,
it's
you're
the
right.
tzatziki.
You're people, the only people on planet Earth that I allow to get away with my rule that everything needs a sauce.
Well,
Tzatziki's a sauce. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Have you seen the videos of people the Americans pronouncing tzatziki?
How do they say it?
Tzatziki.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Add the sauce. Tzatziki. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Ray also says another sports successful merger would have to be the Footscray Lions and the Brisbane Bears.
Yeah, they did all right.
Yep. Yeah.
4 premierships, or 3 premierships in 4 years in the early 2000s, and to this probably going to win it again this year, the way they're going.
And it got me thinking in the NRL, the Wests Tigers.
There you go.
That was a merger. Yep, Balmain Tigers, Western Suburb Magpies.
The other thing we're asking people, it sort of came up spontaneously with Tom Wren, jealous of the Jude Bellingham, England. He scored the winner. He's had a remarkable tournament. They sing "Hey Jude" to him, and they sing "Wonderwall" to the England players. Well, they sing it with the fans. Actually, a really nice thing. It's very English football fans and players all singing together. What would an Australian version of that be? You and I said this is an impossible task, but our listeners have had a crack at it. Russell had this. Day. Which race day do they sing horses at? Oaks Day, is it?
Surely it's all of them. Everyone ends
There's
at a
one
nightclub.
iconic one that he always sings it at the end of.
Right.
But he's stopped doing it now because he's not performing anymore. That's good. Jeanette had the same as Rennie. She said, the Seekers, we are one, we are many. I think Rennie mentioned that one a little bit earlier as well. If there's some more coming through, let us know. 8223 0000 is the number. In the meantime, I tell you what, when you go away for 2 weeks and your relationship with the news becomes, I think, more normal, which is that you check in and out, you're not living in it every single day. To try and keep track of what's happening in the Middle East at the moment is, I think, for anyone, even in fact, working at, and perhaps even Michael Shoebridge, Director of Strategic Analysis Australia, is suffering from this. It is like Schrodinger's conflict. One moment you look at it, there's a ceasefire in effect. Yep. There's another.
We're all good guys.
There's an live exchange of fire. The Strait of Hormuz now is very much the subject of what's an open question. The Iranians are saying it's closed. Donald Trump says it's open. So the best we can do in covering it is to say at 6:43 a.m. Adelaide time. Michael Shoebridge, good morning. What is the state of the conflict right now?
Oh, well, you're right about the Schrodinger's cat thing. I mean, it's both open and closed, isn't it? So the American president, Donald Trump, is saying the strait is open, but no ships will be going through it because they've been attacked by the Iranians when they've tried to use the Omani side of the strait. And in fact, you would have to say the war has restarted, although negotiations seem still to be happening because the Iranians have now struck a number of Gulf state countries, Qatar, Oman, Kuwait and Bahrain and the UAE. So the war seems to be pretty hot at the moment.
Okay. And is this too simple of a question, Michael, but whose fault is that?
Well, it's a good question, Stacey. I think part of it is the ceasefire agreement was extremely vague around key things like what would actually happen in the strait. It does seem to have said it was the responsibility of the Iranians to coordinate the opening of the strait, and the Iranians think that it was agreed that they would control the strait. And the Americans have worked with the Omanis since then to try and have a part of the strait that isn't under Iranian control, and the Iranians have attacked shipping using that. So the Americans have tried to do something the Iranians think is against the agreement, and the Iranians are trying to control the strait in a way the Americans don't think they should. It means they really didn't agree key things at the ceasefire start.
Is this a premature observation to make, Michael? But is this a continuation of the... I mean, it quite obviously is a continuation of the conflict, but is it also the beginning of a new era where Iran now knows that its capacity to affect shipping in the Strait of Hormuz is not entirely theoretical? It can do so, and it can do so with its armed forces being largely destroyed. And our reality as consumers around the world now is simply that when conflict occurs in the Middle East, there's this power there that now knows they can close the strait lever and do so fairly easily.
Well, I think that's exactly what the Iranian regime thinks, and that's what it's demonstrating. The Americans are trying to do something they couldn't during the full-scale war, which is reduce the Iranian military power so much that they can't threaten shipping in the strait. But I think that's not a possible task because one successful drone strike on one ship shows they still have that power. And right now, as I say, they're launching attacks on multiple Gulf state countries, so they've got plenty of military capability still there.
So, Michael, far be it from me to suggest what words we should be using for the Middle East conflict.
Oh, go on.
I feel like we need to get rid of peace deal until something's actually been signed. Let's stop using ceasefire and let's stop using peace deal until it's actually both sides have agreed on an actual deal and have agreed to stop, I guess, conflict with each other. Because it feels like this, it's giving people hope. We've agreed on a peace deal. Have you, though? And then a week later, no, we haven't, and we're going to continue.
Look, you're right. I mean, to say there was a ceasefire, well, there never really was. There was an end to the broader war, and so far the Americans haven't done a whole lot of broader strikes across Iran. They've focused mainly around military systems around the strait. But I think the right way to think about it is it's war with negotiation.
And because it feels like there are more than just two sides to this war. It's not just US and Iran. There are so many other players that unless they all get together and they all sign a peace deal and they all agree on a ceasefire, then it's never going to happen.
Well, the Gulf states clearly are directly affected by all this, so they have to be a part of that. And they have been trying to negotiate separately with Iran because they've got to live with that neighbour. And then we shouldn't forget the Israeli role in this too. They were a main part of the war, and they're in the middle of what was agreed with that memorandum of understanding that started the ceasefire, because the war in Lebanon was meant to stop as a part of this. So you're quite right. There's a much broader set of countries involved.
Michael, I think the luxury we have in Australia is that everyone listening to this waking up will have sympathy, no doubt, for those involved, but also go, what's this going to mean for my petrol prices?
Yes.
We've got a federal government that's trying to craft excise relief policy around reactions to the oil market, the oil barrel price, but also this very live conflict. If you were in a position of, if they asked you about the trajectory of this conflict and where it's heading, what would you tell them?
I'd say it's going to keep on this low boil at least, and that means energy supply out of the Middle East is going to keep being disrupted. And just when countries thought we could restock our reserves to put a bit of a buffer in place, we can't do that. So prices will go up unless the excise is kept reduced.
Michael, great insights as always. We appreciate your time this morning. Michael Shoebridge, the Director of Strategic Analysis Australia, on the on-again, off-again, on-again war in the Middle East. Back here in Adelaide, we're going to have a look at the weather now with Daniel Sherwin-Simpson at the Weather Bureau. Daniel, good morning to you.
Good morning, Will, and good morning, Stacey.
So how's the week looking, Daniel?
Yeah, so we are going to see these showers continue for the next about a day and a half. We will be on the easing trend as we move through tomorrow, but a little bit of rain out there right now. In the last 6 hours, we've seen 1.4 millimetres at Tea Tree Gully, but we're expecting these showers to pick up a bit as we head into the late morning and afternoon, continuing into the evening. And then sort of by the time we get into tomorrow evening, I reckon you'll be well and truly clear. So you won't need an umbrella for your commute home tomorrow. Maybe in the morning there'll just be a little spit, but nothing too significant. Then really we're on the easing trend over the next couple of days. So once we get into Wednesday, pretty much in the clear. It's looking dry across the entire state through the middle part of the week and starting to warm up. We're going to see a high pressure system very slowly lumber across the state. By the time that gets into sort of the Tasman Sea by about Friday, Saturday, that's going to direct northerly winds over South Australia, which is going to lead to those temperatures warming up. So we've got a 19 on the forecast for Sunday. So it's been a while since we've started to push 20 or so degrees, but definitely a warmer, clearer patch coming through.
All right, good stuff. Thank you, Daniel. Daniel Sherwin-Simpson at the Weather Bureau. Let's head to Safe Bowl. Senior Constable Scott James is on the line. Scott, you've caught up with an extreme speeder.
Yeah, that's right. So this one happened just after 4 p.m. Yesterday afternoon. A Mercedes sedan was detected by a mobile traffic camera that was placed on Clayton Road. So that sedan was clocked travelling at 107 kilometres an hour in a 50-kilometre zone. Road policing officers attended the registered owner's address shortly after, which was at Salisbury North, and they located the vehicle involved. The alleged driver, who was a 17-year-old boy and provisional licence driver, was then arrested. He was charged with aggravated extreme speed, speed dangerous, and also breaching his P conditions. And we've taken his licence for 12 months and impounded his car, and he will see the youth court in September.
107 in a 50s. And what's the maximum speed limit for a P-plater?
The maximum speed limit? Oh, it depends what road. Obviously, on that road, you can only go 50 kilometres.
Yeah.
You know,
You're right.
for anyone.
Well, when I was doing it, it was only 100.
You can't go any faster than 50 kilometres.
I thought it was,
107 in a 50-kilometre zone is
outrageous.
Quick.
Okay, well, let's move on. A Volkswagen was torched in Broadview this morning as well.
Yeah, so just after 3:20 this morning, police and fire crews were called to Tarracan Avenue at Broadview after reports that a Volkswagen sedan was engulfed in flames. MFS crews were quick to that scene and extinguished the blaze to the Volkswagen. Unfortunately, a nearby Toyota SUV also caught on fire as a result of that initial fire. So we've got our crime scene investigators and Western District CIB to attend that scene and examine the circumstances. At this point in time, we're treating that fire as suspicious, and we're just asking anyone with any information, any dash cam or CCTV, just to contact Crime Stoppers on a 1-800-333-000.
And just lastly, Scott, there was a crash at Hazelwood Park this morning.
Yeah, so that one happened about 3:50 this morning. A Mazda sedan reportedly crashed into a fence of a home on Cooper Place. Luckily, the home itself wasn't impacted, but the 3 occupants of the car immediately ran off. We called in police dog Hank and Griffin just to assist with the search for the trio. However, they were not located. We did do some checks on the vehicle and it was not reported stolen, and our investigations are continuing just to ascertain the identity and locate the driver and passengers.
Interesting. All right.
Anyone just with information, just to contact that Crime Stoppers number for us.
Good on you, Scott. Thank you for that. Senior Constable Scott James from SAPOL. We're going to check traffic and come back with more in just a moment. Wintertime snow and shine at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre multi-storey car park this Saturday. See horsepowercrew.com.
Delays through Para Hills around a collision on Maxwell Road near Main North Road. We've got another one through Newton on Newton Road at Montague Road, and a car fire causing some drama still at Andrews Farm along Davern Road near Stevenage Road. To Crafers West, a bit of fog still lingering around on the freeway just above the tunnels. Get 3K off select MY 26.5 ranges plus the first 5 general services free. Participating Ford dealers only. Visit ford.com.au for details. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The energy today, the amount of people who got up before dawn, walking 1 mile in the shoes of someone that has nothing.
Step up to end homelessness. Walk a mile in My Boots. Register or donate today.
Goals, or a mentor to build skills, confidence and independence. There's less waiting, straightforward support and real people you can contact when you need them. Just Therapy. Your success is our goal. justtherapy.com.au.
Most financial advice comes with strings attached. AFM Wealth Strategy doesn't. They're independent, part of just 1% of advisors in Australia. No commissions, no bank ties, no incentives pushing products. Their fees aren't based on how much money you have. It means you'll get financial advice that's clear, fair, and always in your best interest. AFM Wealth Strategy, an authorised representative of Independent Financial Advisors Australia, AFSL 464629.
Don't miss the biggest and best Canberra Floriade yet. Holiday Wonders has a range of value-packed Floriade holidays departing from Adelaide. Our special 7-day Trains to the Tulips package includes gold-class travel aboard the Indian Pacific, along with special sightseeing highlights, including the smash hit musical My Fair Lady at the Sydney Opera House, and first-class rail travel to Canberra for the festival. Places are selling fast. Book now at holidaywonders.com.au.
Knock down, build 2 with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
5 minutes to 7. That's why I love our audience today. Ben Jordan, our resident stats man, on 2 points. Horses sung at the Cox Plate. Thank you, Ben. I get it wrong every single time this comes up. And also, 360 mils of rain for the year, 84 millimetres above the average. It's the 25th wettest year we've had, to July 13 since 1839. 2025, 2024, the last 2 years, ranked 170th and 172nd. So if it feels wet, it really is wet.
It is wet. There you go. Love that. Where do you get these stats?
That's Ben. We don't ask. He just tells.
Don't ask.
You're exactly right.
Just take.
He's
Thank you, Ben. We
our resident
appreciate
stats
that.
man.
Well, if I was to tell you that there was a bunch of Lobethal boys on the weekend and they set themselves a mission to run 500 kilometres over a 24-hour period, you'd probably say, I don't know, they're training for a marathon or trying to break a record, beat a personal best, something like that. No, they weren't doing it for anything like that. They were doing it for their friend Alex Kane, who's currently battling stage 3 childhood Hodgkin's lymphoma. And Esther Rogers is the organiser of the event. She joins you now. Esther, this is incredible. Well done to you and all of the others involved.
Thank you so much.
So how did they go? This was all taking place on Saturday, started Saturday morning and finished Sunday morning. Did they get to the 500 Ks?
They sure did. It started at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning and they smashed it all out at 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, so they didn't have to run through the night.
Thank God, because it was a pretty hectic night weather-wise as well, Saturday night.
I know, weather-wise was awful. They smashed it out in the morning before the rain came through and finished it off in the, wild and woolly weather.
So where did they run on an oval, Esther, or did they run through the countryside? What was the track?
Yeah, so it was at the Lobethal Football Club and they ran around the oval, so they were running on gravel. Around the oval is about 550 metres for one lap because the grass was so muddy and so wet.
We're just looking up on Esther on our Facebook and YouTube live stream at the moment, and They look rugged up. We see the track they're on. It looks wet. It looks, frankly, for such an uplifting experience, it does look like the world's most miserable day.
Yes, absolutely. But the boys pushed through and they did an extremely amazing effort.
What inspired the 500K run? Where did that idea come from?
Yeah, so the boys, they all play footy, obviously, and they wanted to set a physical challenge. Before this, the furthest they've run is about 12 to 15 kilometres, so it was a huge challenge. They chose 500 just because it's a rounded number, and there was 10 of them, so 50 kilometres each. They wanted something that was achievable, not impossible, but also was a very hard challenge for all of them.
Yeah, no doubt. That's incredible. How are they feeling now?
They're quite sore. We stayed at the club on Saturday night, and definitely in the morning walking down those stairs was a hard challenge.
Yeah. And now this was all to raise money, as I mentioned, for your friend Alex, who's battling stage 3 childhood Hodgkin's lymphoma. The intent was to raise $10,000. Last I checked, it was at $15K. That must feel pretty good.
It feels amazing. It's so good how the community got together. I know there's still a few donations coming in from sponsors and things like that. So I reckon we'll get close to the 20,000 mark quite shortly, which is amazing.
Well, congratulations to all of you, Esther. It's a remarkable effort. Well done, all involved. Esther Rogers, the organiser of the Run for Cancer at the Loby Football Club. Well done to all. 500K. So I was trying to think. A good reference point for Adelaide people, the Adelaide to Melbourne drive. You get to Horsham, that's 427 Ks.
Oh.
So it's 70 Ks further than you get to Horsham. You're back. I generally find that's the point at which you think
you're tired after a drive.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're kind of at the end of your tether by Horsham. You pull in, you go to the Maccas. They ran that distance. They ran 73 Ks more than that. That is just
on a day like Saturday in that weather.
That is mind-boggling. Do you fancy your ability to frame an itinerary for the King?
Oh,
this is interesting. FOI, the Ties have come out with had the King's plans on KI. I reckon our listeners can do better for what the King should do in South Australia. We're going to talk about it after the break, but if you've got some ideas of where you'd take, if it was up to you to take King Charles Summer in Adelaide or South Australia, let's do it more broadly, where would you take him? 8223 0000 or text us on 044808 1395.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
The news and information that matters. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Showers and 16 with the 7 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Kendall Brattick.
Had a collision? Get in touch with FIVEAA Panel Services and have your car returned to its former beauty.
Police are investigating a hit-run crash at Hazelwood Park this morning. Just before 4 a.m, a Mazda sedan crashed into a fence of a home on Cooper Place. Luckily, the home itself wasn't impacted, but the 3 occupants ran off. Checks on the vehicle revealed it was not reported stolen. Investigations are continuing to identify the driver and passengers. A P-plater was clocked at more than double the speed limit at Salisbury East yesterday. Senior Constable Scott James says he was snapped by a mobile traffic camera on Clayson Road doing 107 Ks in a 50 zone.
Road policing officers attended the registered owner's address shortly after, which was at Salisbury North, and they located the vehicle involved. The alleged driver, who was a 17-year-old boy and provisional licence driver, was then arrested. He was charged with aggravated extreme speed, speed dangerous, and also breaching his P conditions, and we've taken his licence for 12 months.
A car went up in flames at Broadview this morning. The Volkswagen sedan was engulfed in flames in Tarakan Avenue just after 3:20. A nearby Toyota SUV also caught fire. Crime scene investigators will attend the scene later today. Well, an Essendon cafe was targeted in a drive-by shooting last week and has now been firebombed. The fires caused significant damage to Andy's Place Cafe as well as an Australia Post shop next door. On Friday, a number of bullets were sprayed into the cafe. 2 men aged 18 and 20 have been arrested. A new poll shows the coalition's enjoying a boost in support as the gloss comes off One Nation. More from Michael Packy.
The latest Resolve poll reveals support for One Nation has slipped 3 points to 26%, while the coalition's primary vote is up to 23%, with Labor eclipsing both Conservative parties. The survey shows One Nation is losing the backing of some younger voters, immigrants and women. Resolve says despite the dip, there is still strong support for positions outlined by the Pauline Hanson-led outfit, such as overhauling the NDIS and asserting many young workers are lazy. According to the poll, Anthony Albanese has regained his standing as preferred Prime Minister over Senator Hanson.
The US insists the Strait of Hormuz remains open despite Iran saying it's closed the critical waterway until further notice. US Central Command says its forces are positioned to ensure freedom of navigation. President Donald Trump telling NBC traffic is flowing, adding Iran doesn't control the route.
It's open. We bombed the hell out of them last night. They're very, very evil and sick people.
And Prime Minister Anthony Albanese will be among the dignitaries delivering a eulogy at the State Memorial Service for Professor Richard Scolyer today. 2,500 people will fill the Sydney Opera House Concert Hall to farewell the former Australian of the Year and pioneering melanoma researcher. Close friend Gail O'Brien says he dedicated his life to patient care.
I think it's a beautiful recognition of Richard's work and of his family. He was an incredible researcher, as everybody knows, and I think that the legacy that he leaves is that incredible research.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
From designer to traditional or contemporary, there's a Gliderol garage door to match your home. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. Port Adelaide is set to be ravaged for its clash against the ladder leaders Fremantle on Saturday, with Jason Horne-Francis offered a one-match ban for a bump that occurred on Saints defender Liam Stocker. That was in the final quarter of their 14-point loss on Saturday. It compounds the problems for the Power, who'll already be without acting captain Zach Butters for the clash against the Dockers, and that's because of an ankle injury, while Mitch Georgiades will miss through concussion. Jack Lukosius is in doubt with a calf injury, while Lockie Jones has sore ribs. Meantime, the Crows will be monitoring the fitness of Rory Laird after the defender hurt his ankle. That was during the Crows' 79-point win against Gold Coast. Hugo Hawker-Hahn's a big chance to return after he was left out of that match. And there were 3 games yesterday to wrap up round 18. The Bulldogs 16-point winners against West Coast. Melbourne smashed Richmond by 46 points, while Brisbane belted Essendon by 90 points in the late game. Let's go to tennis, and Jannik Sinner has claimed a second straight Wimbledon crown after winning in 4 sets against Alexander Zverev in the final. The result sealed with a trademark forehand winner.
How about that? How about that? Sweet Sinner.
6-7, 7-6, 6-3.
Another forehand crushed. 4 sets of compelling tennis to finish up Wimbledon 2026.
Certainly was. That audio thanks to Nine. Let's go to golf, and Aussie Minwoo Lee has showed some great form leading into this week's Open Championship after finishing runner-up at the Scottish Open to South Korea's Tom Kim. Brendan McCullum has been sacked as England Test coach after a disastrous 12 months for the team. And Mathieu van der Poel has won his 3rd career Tour de France stage in a sprint finish on stage 9. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now I'm checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Delays through Para Hills around a collision on Maxwell Road near Main North Road. We've got another one through Newton on Newton Road at Montecute Road, and a car fire causing some drama still at Andrews Farm along Davern Road near Stevenage Road. To Crafers West, a bit of fog still lingering around on the freeway just above the tunnels. Get 3K off select MY 26.5 ranges plus the first 5 general services free. Participating Ford dealers only. Visit ford.com.au for details. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
To the weather, showers today heading for 16, easing tomorrow 17, partly cloudy on Wednesday 16 and mostly sunny Thursday also 16. At the moment 12 on 5AA, Always Adelaide.
The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
7 after 7, good morning to you. If you're joining us for the first time on what is a dark and cool Monday morning in Adelaide. It is the 13th of July. It's been a delight having Stacey in for the first hour. You made it through an hour, Stacey. After this, it's all gravy, really.
Oh, when you said you made it through the first hour, I thought, oh, does that mean I get to go home?
No, that's not how it works. No, David, you should try that occasionally. You got to stick around. There's still a couple more to go.
Okay.
Still lots to talk about on the program as well. A lot of fun in the first hour, talking on a number of issues about which we're still getting texts through. I think we eventually settled on this as the Brady Brunch Breakfast program, based on the fact that you and Jess have both joined, with Emily and David off now for the rest of the year, and Paddy and I are remaining, and I think that works quite well. We're also looking for suggestions about what Australia's equivalent of Wonderwall, the song the English fans sing with their team after they win. David said Never Tear Us Apart, which I figure, Stacey, is your burner account. Is that you texting through?
No.
Never Tear Us Apart?
No, my burner account's a different name.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you'll get to know that one. No, but obviously Never Tear Us Apart came to mind for me as a Port supporter. But the difference is the players get to sing it with the fans.
Yes.
Never Tear Us Apart is a fan thing in the stadium. We all put our scarves up, and it's great. It's a really good feeling before a game, but it doesn't involve the players.
No, this is a bit more special.
Yeah.
If you've got suggestions, we'd love to hear them. 8223 0000. We also like to hear suggestions about where you'd take the King, King Charles, who this is fascinating. So the advertisers put out an FOI, Freedom of Information request, and they've got documents relating to the pitch that our state government made to get the King to SA to come to Kangaroo Island. So this is the itinerary. Arrive at Kingscote Airport, KI, a 30-minute car ride, which you just have to. It's KI. It's a really big place.
Yeah, that's true.
Officially open the Flinders Chase Visitor Centre. Then there's another 30-minute car ride. Attend a renewable roundtable luncheon at the Southern Ocean Lodge. You had me at Southern Ocean Lodge. 30-minute car ride, and then back to Kingscote Airport. That was the pitch we made.
So is it rude of me to say that if I was King Charles, I also would have rejected that?
No, it's not.
That is the most boring itinerary you can come up with for KI. There is so much to do on Kangaroo Island, and we're sending him to a round table? Come on,
a luncheon
guys.
and opening a visitor centre. It is one of the best. It is my favourite place on planet Earth, Kangaroo Island, and that you made it sound like the most boring. Sounds like a function venue.
You're right. That Southern Ocean Lodge would be a cool experience.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
think everyone would want to go there at one point, and not many of us could afford to step foot in there.
You can imagine him trying to sell it to the King. So we're going to Southern Ocean Lodge. Oh, we're staying the night.
Okay.
Oh, no, there's a luncheon.
Just for a round table.
We're asking you this morning, folks, can you do better? Where would you take the King here in South Australia? Frank in Birkenhead, good morning.
Good morning, Stacey. And well, I think a good place to take the King would be to Cleveland National Park.
Oh.
Yeah, that'd be good. Photo opportunity with the animals.
I reckon he's hugged a koala in his day.
Yeah.
I like that idea, Frank.
That's terrific. 8223 0000. Text us on 0448 08 1395.
On the continuing along Frank's thought about animals, I would want him to go down to Rundle Mall and get a photo on one of the pigs. He'd have to sit on a pig and get a photo.
Well, the Mall's balls.
Yeah.
Made it. They were the unlikely hero of the World Cup of South Australia. He might like to tour the Mall's balls and maybe have an iced coffee and do some of the other things. Meet Tony Modra. You know, these are things that we could have had the King doing, far more exciting than a luncheon.
A round table.
And a round table.
I can't believe someone put round table on the agenda.
Paddy said, smoke illegal tobacco. You know, really get into the local culture. That'd be excellent.
Witness a burst water main.
Witness a burst water main. Come on, folks. We can do better than the state government when it comes to putting an itinerary together for the King. 8223 0000 or text us on 0448 08 1395 with your suggestions. We'd love to hear them. Bit knocking around in the news this morning, and a lot of it has to do with the latest Resolve poll that comes out overnight. This demonstrates what is now very much a trend with One Nation's support beginning to disappear a bit, Stace.
Yeah, well, it was such a quick and very strong rise for One Nation that I think a lot of people were surprised at the rate at which their polling numbers went through the roof, particularly when there's not a federal election anytime soon.
Yes.
But it is not a surprise to me that now that we're getting some of the detail of One Nation policy and people are actually thinking about whether or not I support that policy or not, maybe there's some support dropping off.
Well, here's the headline figures. So Resolve, and I hate going poll to poll and doing poll to poll analysis. I always think is really tedious. But the counterpoint is we did it on the way up for One Nation because it was so. It felt like there was a real shifting of the sands here in the political landscape in Australia. So it kind of behooves us to have a closer look at it again. So the ALP 28, the coalition up 3 points to 23, One Nation down 3 points, which would seem to be a pretty natural exchange of voters there on 26. So 28, 26, 23, a three-headed messy race if that Resolve poll was to play out on election day. Here's Barnaby Joyce talking about it this morning.
The polls are an indicator that they're not a vote, and you always expect there to be fluctuation in polls as you go through a process. I think that what there is an indication is that Pauline Hanson is direct. She doesn't try and gild the lily. She's straight down the barrel with what she says. When she said monoculturalism, of course, we have a choice in Australia. We can have multiculturalism, which means you're accepting of a whole range of things, which may be anathema to the Australian people, or you can have an Australian culture which has to work within guardrails.
It feels like there's a couple of things here. The monoculture debate has been the dominant one, and it feels like that, in the eyes of voters, has potentially been an overstep. I think there is a great appetite, and all the polling suggests this, for there to be tighter controls on our population growth and immigration. Once you start getting into what culture and what you can and can't do, clearly that's the point at which this debate starts to rankle with even some of those people that have said, One Nation's the only one who speaks to me on house prices, cost of living, population, getting jobs and so forth. Maybe that's the line for them. The other thing that it would seem now is that the press club appearance did not go well.
No.
And comments around paid maternity leave. Now, a lot of people, One Nation people are going to say, well, hang on, she didn't say, her point was more nuanced around what the pressures that puts on business. But this is politics. Once you're a major party, you've got to be so precise with your words because you get broadcast across the country now. You're playing with the big boys. You're a major party now, and you're going to get subject to the same scrutiny. So I think that's some of what we're saying
on policies like paid parental leave. And it did seem like Pauline Hanson didn't actually understand the way paid parental leave works. When she spoke about it being a burden on businesses, it's actually not a requirement for businesses to pay any paid parental leave. The parental leave that most people get is from the government.
It's the government version.
It's a business's choice if they offer extra. And so then when there were questions, follow-up questions about her policy and how it would work, and she refused to answer them or couldn't answer them or changed her mind on them, then people are going, okay, all right, so what am I getting if I vote for One Nation?
An extraordinary poll result, 28, 23, 26, no party with more than, or even approaching a third of voters putting them first if an election was held today. One government policy that I think will have universal acclaim is this, with regard to entering the country.
Check in, and while you're waiting for your flight, you get out it's been a trial with Qantas so far, you get out the Qantas app and you just do it online before you get on the plane. And then you've got your QR code ready to go when you land. Don't ever find, if you're not good at technology, you'll be able to at the airport have someone to assist you, either with the device there or to be able to use a paper thing if that's required.
This is great. This is being addressed because there are third world countries that have a better entry process than Australia does, and it's been remarkable that within one of the most digitally savvy nations on earth, and a lot of our listeners will say, well, I hate how digital we are, but there's one area we're not. It's coming back into the country, pencil, paper and so forth. But you made a good point about this, Stace.
Yeah.
This is not as good as I thought it was at first blush.
No, I saw this and thought, like you, Will, hallelujah, finally, you don't have to scrounge through your handbag to find the pen on the plane to fill that paper out. And there's only ever one person in the family that's got the pen. So then you've got to fill everyone's out. But then you get into the detail of this story. It's not just going on a website and filling in the form and getting an email confirmation or a QR code like other countries do. You've got to download an app.
That's miserable.
Imagine. And we've all been through this. When you get somewhere, you land in a foreign country, you don't have internet, and I am not paying for that data roaming, so I am not turning it on. So you get there and you have to log into dodgy airport Wi-Fi to download an app to try and fill out the details. Just what?
Why an app?
Why?
There's no So the way it works for people that don't, if you haven't travelled recently, go to a lot of other countries, there'll just be a website. You punch in your details. It's done digitally. You don't have to see a paper. You don't even really see where it goes. It just exists in the bureaucracy of some other country. Getting an app.
Have to download an app.
Why do we make things so hard?
What's our government's track record with apps and technology?
It's certainly not great.
No.
Lots of good suggestions coming through for things we could do with the king.
This is great.
Tim says take him shark cage diving.
Yeah.
He suggested that maybe Andrew could be taken. We won't explore what Tim's views are on what role Andrew will be playing during the shark diving, but you can imagine. Tim, thank you for that.
Rob said something similar. Send him cage diving with the white pointers. Surely it's a calmer experience than his current family dinners with Andrew and Harry.
Ezekiel says Stacey and Will the King could be given an honour that would be a highlight of his reign. He could trim Travis Head's moustache, which he also appeared in the World Cup of South Australia.
Would you trust him to do that?
No, I actually think that would be that could replace the Ashes, the learn that you win. You get the right to curate Travis Head's moustache.
Yep.
Travis Head's mow trimmings could be in the urn.
Ben wants to take the king crabbing at St Kilda.
That's a great idea.
I like that. And Daniel wants to take him to the Crazy Horse.
Well,
Am I allowed to say that?
You just did. Okay. That's the beauty of it. Aaron in Seaford Rice says the King's itinerary could include a 30-minute car ride on the O-Bahn. Now we're talking, folks.
Yes. It's always a tourist.
That's the quintessential Adelaide experience.
Drives a car on the
O-Bahn is shut today. The King went down a one-way road. That's magnificent. 8223 Keep them coming in. You have already, folks, done a significantly better job than the state government in coming up with an itinerary for the King. Where are you taking him? Where's he going? If he's listening, I think he's coming next time.
Not one person has mentioned a round table.
No, not one round table. No, that's
what a surprise.
He hasn't opened anything. 0480081395 or give us a call at 8223 We'll take some more of your suggestions in just a moment. But first, let's check traffic. Wintertime snow and shine at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre multi-storey car park this Saturday. See horsepowercrew.com.
Slowing through Para Hills West at Maxwell Road near Main North Road around an earlier collision. In Newton, we've got another one at Newton Road near Montacute Road, and a car fire in Andrews Farm still causing dramas at Davern Road near Stevenage Road. Power up Android at Telstra. Discover great deals on the latest Android phones on Telstra's best mobile network. Visit Telstra today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The energy today, the amount of people who got up before dawn, walking 1 mile in the shoes of someone that has nothing.
Step up to end homelessness. Walk a mile in My Boots. Register or donate today.
It's just not worth the pain. Get in touch with Morford Air now for servicing or a new system. Put it at the top of your to-do list. When it's too hot or cold to bear, reach for the Morford Air. morfordair.com.au.
Morford Air. When you're gone, who gets the things that tell your story? Like the classic car you've kept immaculate, the beach shack filled with family memories, or the record collection from your youth. If you don't plan now, it could get messy. Donlan Lawyers specialise in wills and estate planning. From the simplest to the most complex, Donlan Lawyers will give effect to your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com, Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide, and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
At Biurban Bathrooms and Kitchens, the swear jar takes on a whole new meaning.
The Biurban swear jar is about their pledge to do everything possible to make your bathroom or kitchen renovation experience the best it can possibly be.
Now, Sean is fantastic. Sean is the guru of kitchens at Biurban. Sean has over 30 years' experience. Sean swears to deliver the kitchen of your dreams with minimum fuss and interruption to your home.
And Aaron and John are the plasterers for Biurban, and they both swear to always clean up after themselves. That's a big one. You'll never know they've been there.
Yeah, they're masters, Aaron and John. Don't worry about that. For a team that swears to deliver on quality and service, see Biurban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation experts.
For those whose pool is the main feature of their yard, Walco offer a special mesh cover to keep debris and leaves out while making your pool area look stunning all through winter. Join the great cover-up and ask Walco about their stylish new mesh pool covers. Walco.com.au.
Your business has most likely been targeted by a cyber attack. You just don't know it yet. Often the future attack hides quietly in your system, watching, waiting, learning how your business works. That's how most attacks start. FXIT helps Australian businesses find threats early before they become crippling. Don't be the easy win for cyber criminals. Book your free security audit now at fx.com.au/protect.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
22 after 7. Stephen Rowe was there on Saturday night as the Crows dismantled a hapless Suns outfit. We'll chat with him in just a moment. First, though, we've got some terrific suggestions coming through for the King's itinerary. Linda in Heathfield, where would you take the King?
Morning, Stacey and Will. You there?
We've got you, Linda.
Hello, Linda.
All right, just doesn't sound very loud. I'd suggest Minato. He can sit on the bus and wave to the animals, or even get up close with the elephants.
Yes,
that's a great idea. He loves nature. He's a conservationist. He'd love Minato.
That's for sure. And you talked about Kangaroo Island. What about the Lavender Farm with their scones?
Oh, they're the best scones you've ever had, Linda.
Linda, that's you. Linda, you should have been in charge of the itinerary. That's way better than what the state government came up with. Gary in Prospect, what have you got for the King?
Yeah, good morning, Will and Stacey. The most picturesque cricket ground in the world. Adelaide Oval.
Adelaide Oval.
Mm-hmm. That's a great one, Gary.
You know what he could do? He could do the walk that the coaches do through the crowd. The King has to deal with some choice feedback from time to time. I think he could deal with it.
I reckon he could deal with it better than Damien Hardwick
I think there's no doubt about that.
Stephen Rowe on 5AA Breakfast.
Paddy wants to know how you'd sledge the King. What would you yell at him? That's a dangerous one. 8223 but look, he's the producer of the show and he gets certain privileges. Let's go to Stephen Rowe and talk footy and all that happened on the weekend. Morning to you, Rowie.
I reckon I'd take the King George whiting fishing out of American River, Kangaroo Island, and I'd get him sideways in about an hour, I reckon.
I think you'd have no trouble whatsoever.
Hey? That'd be good.
You'd bag out with the King. Don't worry about that.
Oh, God, imagine that. I wouldn't have to measure, count or anything. I've got the King on board.
He just says it's law. Yeah.
There.
That one's legal, he says.
We're taking news.
Will and Stacey, good morning. Yeah, Crows smashed Suns by 79 points. They sit 5th on the ladder, the same as Brisbane, just 1% off. Look, they're getting their game together. Will, you and I spoke about this pre-game. 6 games left. Their top 4 got to be in their sights. To think Archie and Butts and Hall Cahan and who is it, Isaac Cummings, Nick Murray, they got people there ready to go. Maybe Thilthorpe in the second ruck. But I think you're right, Will, with your assessment pre-game. They're working out what's their best 23, who are their best options, and how they want to play in that midfield moving forward, because the big test is going to be finals time. Can they stand up?
Do you, a Crows fan, I was thinking about this driving home, Rowie. Are Crows fans too pessimistic, given where the side's at? Their percentage out of the 4 right now. I think everyone's still got the scar tissue from the finals last year. This time last year, despite the fact Crows were top, all right, so there's a little bit of a difference about it, but there was a sense that this side was going to win the premiership, and there's some hesitancy from Crows fans this year. Do you think that hesitancy is well found?
Well, yes, I do, because so far this year against quality teams through the midfield, the same problems have occurred. So I think they're nervous, they're apprehensive, they're hopeful that they can get it right. Look, they've got 6 weeks to do so. They're in an enviable position because they can gun for top 4. They might be able to manage a few people, whether it's Tex or Riley Thilthorpe or their ruckman coming into the game. They've got Essendon coming up as well. Friday they got Sydney and then round 23 Freo in Perth. That nervousness amongst us Crows fans will subside if they can get the job done through the midfield against those 2 teams. That's all it is, I think. Their best is good enough, but can they do it in finals? We'll wait and see. Quickly on Port, they lost Zach Butters. God, I hope it's not forever. Horn Francis reported Georgiana's concussion. Rosie's already out. Sam Powell-Pepper's already out.
Stacey's shaking hands, Rowie.
Why are you doing this to me,
Stacey's
Rowie?
shaking hands. She looks pained.
Well, you may very well be, but what I do know is they'll turn up and they'll have a crack. But that's probably 5 of your best 6 players out. You've got Fremantle at home Saturday afternoon. like Josh Carr does. He prepares the team well. He doesn't care who's out there; they'll perform. But gee, that's a massive out. I hope Zach Butters is all right. We haven't had any late reports on that ankle, have we?
I haven't seen anything new on that front. I was saying this, and Stacey and I disagreed on this a little bit earlier, Rowie. That, and I'm obviously not. I'm not emotionally involved in the decision. Stacey likes Port and likes Zach Butters and would like to see him go out on a high. But aren't we at a point where sanity needs to prevail? Port Adelaide can't afford not to finish in the bottom four. You've got to finish bottom four with what they've got with Dougie Cochrane and the draft compensation you get under the new rules. And Zach Butters can't afford to get a serious injury when he's got millions and millions of dollars potentially coming his way at the end of this year. So it's sort of the point at which you shake hands and say thanks for the memories, don't you?
Oh, look, I think they'll play it through.
I just don't see who that benefits.
We don't even know if Zach's made his decision yet.
Oh, okay.
Well, we don't really, do we?
Okay.
And it's his call. Look, it might be a syndesmosis, which is 6 to 8. It might be just a rolled ankle, which is 2 to 4. Let's hope he can get back, and let's hope he stays. If he doesn't, Dougie Cochrane's the one, and you're right, with the way the draft sits and how they want to get picks, they're going to want to finish bottom four. Hey, before I go, how good was the World Cup on the weekend?
Unbelievable.
That English game was absolutely next level against Norway. So France take on Spain Wednesday morning, England, Argentina Thursday. Before the World Cup even kicked off, Stacey and Will, you'd say they're probably the 4 best teams.
Yeah.
So it's landed where it's landed.
Soccer has this amazing ability, in the World Cup especially, to be an event where you feel like you can win any game. A minnow can beat a giant. Yet, 6 countries have only ever won it, and we've got the best 4 have made it to the final.
That's it.
It's pretty remarkable it can do both those things at the same time.
God, it shows how Socceroos are miles away too. The World Cup final, for those who want to know, Monday morning, 4:30am. I will get up because it's once every 4 years. Hey, have a good day. We'll see you at 4.
See you, Rowie.
Good on you, Rowie.
Sick of the wait after a car accident? Rain, hail or shine, Pro Paint and Panel has your back 24/7.
From towing and insurance paperwork to high standard repairs, they'll help get the process moving and your car back on the road.
Pro Paint and Panel, South Road, High Marsh.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. We're helping life flow.
Or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
South Australia is big, it's wild, and it's all closer than you think. This winter, get out and explore our own backyard with special seasonal rates from Avis Truck Rental Adelaide.
We are talking about King Charles' itinerary if he was to come to South Australia.
Get him in an Avis truck.
Get him
Matt will sort him out.
Avis truck. Matt will definitely sort him out. He runs the depot and he's a dead set legend and is always ready to help out. And this winter, he's unlocked these special offers. There are special winter rates, next day booking, extra kilometres included, and insurance excess has been reduced.
These winter rates apply to their 4-wheel drives, vans, dual cab 4x4 utes with lockable canopies and roof racks, even the 12-seaters, whether you're heading to the coast, the wine regions, the Flinders, taking the King to KI, or a weekend interstate of the footy, Matt's got you covered with a vehicle for the adventure. Avis
Truck Rental Adelaide. Trust your mate, Matt. Ask for the 5AA winter specials. I reckon King Charles will get a good deal as well. So call 8241 5200 or jump online at avis.com.au.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers and 16 with the 7:30 news. Good morning, I'm Kendall Brettig.
Need a crash repairer you can trust? FIVEAA Panel Services delivers expert care to you and your vehicle.
Police are investigating a suspicious fire at Kidman Park last night. Fire crews were called to Canino Drive after reports of flames and smoke coming from the roof of a house. The home was vacant at the time and no one was injured, while there was another suspicious blaze at Woodville Gardens. It broke out in the garage of a home on Humphreys Terrace before the 2-storey townhouse was engulfed in flames. It was extensively damaged, while the neighbouring property also suffered smoke and water damage. And a car went up in flames at Broadview this morning. Senior Constable Scott James says the Volkswagen sedan was engulfed in flames in Tarakan Avenue just after 3:20.
MFS crews were quick to that scene and extinguished the blaze to the Volkswagen.
Unfortunately, a nearby Toyota SUV also caught on fire as a result of that initial fire. So we've got our crime scene investigators and Western District CRB to attend that scene and examine the circumstances. At this point in time, we're treating that fire as suspicious.
A 59-year-old man has died after a large brawl in the APY lands yesterday. The man sought medical help at the town's clinic but subsequently died. Police are investigating whether it was due to a medical episode. One Nation says it's not concerned about its recent decline in popularity. The latest Resolve survey shows the minor parties relinquished 3 points to the coalition. The largest losses were among migrant and female voters. But One Nation MP Barnaby Joyce has told Seven polls are an indication, not a vote.
And you always expect there to be fluctuation in polls as you go through a process. I think that what there is an indication is that Pauline Hanson is direct. She doesn't try and gild the lily. She's straight down the barrel with what she says.
Universities are now required to set up a transparent complaints process for students and staff to report on racism and anti-Semitism. The federal government's new threshold standards also means unis must adopt recognised definitions of hate. It follows a Jewish family's house being spray painted with swastikas and anti-Jewish graffiti in Camden Park on the weekend. A 9.5-hour flight from Japan to Melbourne, which turned into a 35-hour nightmare for passengers, is finally over. Brian Wilson reports.
A 9.5-hour flight from Japan that turned into a 35-hour nightmare for passengers is finally over, with Qantas flight QF80 landing at Melbourne Airport. The passengers' ordeal started when a major mechanical fault on the 22-year-old Airbus A330 stranded the holidaymakers at Narita Airport near Tokyo. A lack of hotels forcing many to sleep on the floor of the terminal. The rolling delays continued last night, the captain counting down the minutes to the airport's mandatory curfew while he waited on clearance paperwork from Airbus before the passengers were rushed on board and the aircraft finally departed.
A huge fire in a pub in Bangkok has killed at least 27 people. Footage shared online shows a huge blaze raging from the front door as people tried to flee. The cause is under investigation. And it's been revealed the King bypassed an invitation to visit Kangaroo Island during his royal tour 2 years ago. State government proposals reported in the Advertiser show officials appealed to King Charles's environmental interests to try to lure him to SA. But the royals only visited Sydney and Canberra on their 5-day trip.
Gliderol Garage doors are proudly and brilliantly made right in South Australia. Gliderol.com.au.
And now turning to sport, here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. We'll start with some football. Brisbane has stormed back into the AFL's top four, thumping the Bombers by 15 goals at the Gabba. Brisbane were never headed on home soil, keeping the Bombers to just 1 goal before three-quarter time. Coach Chris Fagan pleased with a 5th straight win.
I thought we were fantastic in offence and stingy in defence. It's a little bit disappointing that we allowed him to kick 7 goals in the last quarter, but I guess if he had said to me before the day started that we'd come here today and get a good strong 90-point win, I probably would have taken it.
Now, that result relegates Adelaide to 5th place after round 18. And there were 2 other games yesterday to wrap up the round. Melbourne smashing Richmond by 46 points, while the Bulldogs just edged past West Coast by 16 points. Well, Yannick Sinner has come from a set down to defend his Wimbledon crown. Craig Gabriel is there.
It was a huge battle, and for just shy of 2 sets, Alexander Zverev had Yannick Sinner in trouble. The German was firing with his serve and returns, and Sinner was trying to stay in touch. There was no service breaks till the 8th game of the 3rd set when Sinner broke the German serve from 40-15, and his confidence lifted, and you got the feeling the match had turned. He went on to win 6-7, 7-6, 6-3, 6-4 to win his 5th major from 7 finals and his 100th win at the majors. Sinner stays number 1. Zverev moves up to 2.
Aussie Cruz Hewitt, meantime, led by a set and a break in the boys' final, but couldn't go on to secure the victory, going down in a tight 3-setter. And in some cricket to finish, England has sacked Brendan McCullum as Test coach following the team's ordinary run of form, which saw them recently lose a series at home to New Zealand 2-1, while Ben Stokes retired from international duties. And that's the 5AA Sport.
On to the traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate. Experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Slowing through Port Adelaide, we've got a broken down truck at Francis Street near Perkins Drive. It's slowing outbound through there. In Andrews Farm, a car fire at Davern Road near Stevenage Road. And Zacrafers West, foggy conditions still causing some issues on the freeway just above the tunnels. Get 3K off, select MY26.5 Everest, plus the first 5 general services free. Participating Ford dealers only. Visit ford.com.au for details. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
To the weather, showers today, heading for 16. Showers easing tomorrow, 17. Partly cloudy Wednesday, 16. And mostly sunny Thursday, also 16. At the moment, 12 on 5AA, Always Adelaide.
The most frustrating thing about having your car repaired after a collision can be the wait. Sometimes months. At FIVEAA Panel Services, the wait is one thing you won't have to worry about. We've expanded our workshop and our highly skilled team. It means we're better equipped to deliver an outstanding outcome for you and your car. RAA and MTA approved, FIVEAA Panel Services work with most insurance companies. So ask for FIVEAA Panel Services and get back on the road sooner.
Great things begin with the right space. A space to work, a space to store, a space to create. Right now, build the space you've always wanted with Olympic Industries sheds, garages and outdoor storage designed for Australian lifestyles. Visit one of Olympic Industries' inspiration centres today and bring your space to life. Start something with the Olympic Industries sale. On now.
20 years on, FIVEAA Milk Company is stronger than ever, producing over 55 different products, from fresh milk and flavoured milk to cream, sour cream and yoghurt. We brought back the glass bottle to help our planet. And with a growing fleet of 25 delivery trucks, we're keeping South Australian milk flowing across our great state. 17 million litres a year at last count, with 9 local dairy families. Choose FIVEAA Milk Company, and let's keep a good thing going.
Knock down, build 2 with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
21 minutes to 8. We're going to be chatting with Toop and Toop before 8 o'clock today. What's happening with rents? What's happening with house prices here in Adelaide? Forget headlines about interstate. What's happening here? You'll find out very, very shortly with our excellent Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. The other thing that's happening right now is we're getting some great suggestions through on the text line about where you'd take the king in South Australia. His itinerary came out by way of an FOI, a planned trip to KI, which really had us all, frankly, falling asleep just reading it out. And our listeners have done a significantly better job than that. We also suggest that maybe Matt from Ava's Truck Rental could provide the transport. Well, Matt's texted us. He says anything for King Charles is on the house. So we've already saved the taxpayer money. This 5AA Breakfast is doing a significantly better job than the state government on the King's itinerary. Richard at Shido Park, what would you add to it?
Pick up a helicopter from West Beach.
Yep.
Fly to Windy Mount Lofty to show them how we were planned out many years ago by a foreigner, like England people.
Yep.
And then from there to the Whispering Wall in a helicopter, and then to Chateau Yaldala, because they've got antiques of royal coaches, which a lot of people don't see.
That's a great... You've got the whole day planned out, Richard. That's terrific. All you need is the king and a helicopter.
And a helicopter.
Magnificent
That's
work.
Great. I like this one as well, Andrew. I'd take him to the general store at Vivon Bay for a famous whiting burger.
Oh.
So good.
Those Vivon Bay and Emu Bay and Stokes Bay, like those places in KGI. He could do a beaches tour of KI that would have been more fun than... what was he doing? A round table on climate change? Oh, he's got something else on.
I'm doing the vomit emoji.
Sorry, Premier and Governor. The King's otherwise engaged that weekend. Well, there's one exciting development for people planning to go away and re-enter the country, though. It sounds like the paper arrival card is soon about to become a thing of the past, like every other country on earth. Just about. I think the US might still do them, but pretty much everywhere else doesn't. Fantastic news. Anything that makes travel to South Australia easier will be music to the ears of our next guest. Daisy Miller is the CEO of the Tourism Industry Council here in South Australia. This is good news, isn't it, Daisy?
is great news, Will. Good morning. Good morning, Stacey. How are you?
Yeah, good, Daisy. My eyes lit up when I heard this story this morning. I just thought, finally, you don't have to dig through the handbag and find the pen to fill out those stupid paper forms.
It's so great. And we spoke about this not even that long ago, you and I. This is the thing we've been waiting for in the tourism industry. So, no, it is a fantastic day. It's going to help with all those long queues people have found themselves in on arrival. This will make that all easier. And then for the tourism industry, they're going to be thrilled as well because it's better data collection. And at the moment, we are waiting for data collection that by the time we get it is already backwards, sometimes up to a year old by the time that we're getting the data, which, as you can imagine, in 2026 feels pretty outdated, really.
What kind of things do you learn from that data about how people travel?
We learn about why people are coming, which can give us a bit of an idea about, the kind of money that they spend. Look, personally, we'd like to see, better data collection all up, but this is like when you're here for business or visiting friends and relatives or you're here on holiday, that kind of data really helps us understand where we need to be investing. So are we attracting enough conventions and conferences? Do we have enough product in our regions for holiday dispersal? Do we have enough hotels for people staying? So it really helps the tourism industry understand where investment is needed, as well as just being a far more pleasant experience for people arriving in Australia, which is great.
So, Daisy, do you have oversight about how it'll work? It's not just a website, it'll be an app?
What the trial has had that it's built into the app, the Qantas app, so that the trial's been, I think it was started in 2024 for particular flights between Australia and New Zealand to begin with on Qantas. So what I understand is they'll have a web form as they roll it out through and expand it through other flights into other airports. But ideally, they're going to try to work with the different airlines to build it into that airline's app so that it's all in the one place that people already have downloaded onto their phones before they travel.
Right.
Oh, so web form gives me some hope. Is that just a contingency, do you think, in between, Daisy, or is that part of the long-term plan?
I think this is a contingency to begin with. But I would suggest that web forms are pretty easy. We all learned how to use QR codes during COVID. And so making sure that we can just, sit up to 3 days before we travel and put all of that information in. I was reading this morning as well from, colleagues in primary industries and border security, which is, another part of our arrival passenger cards, that this will have really great improvements for biosecurity as well, which I think is a really positive thing too.
So, I think everyone's delighted about this. It sort of removes an annoyance. And I know you're not in the business, Daisy, necessarily of talking about annoying things when you come to South Australia. But what's next cab off the rank? Is there something that people that travel here tell you guys that you'd like to see made easier for people coming to South Australia?
I think for us, and this is a really similar thing that we see in other states as well, I think making transport getting around the state easier for tourists is one of those things. I know that some work has been done by the state government for cruise arrival passengers in making sure that when they get off of the ships down at Outer Harbour that they can get onto trains more easily and make their way into the city if they're not in organised tours. And we have had some work done, obviously, on the different buses that go express between the airport and the CBD, but making sure that network is really easy for people to get up into the Adelaide Hills, for some transport to get back and forwards more easily to the Barossa Valley and McLaren Vale, an expansion of that sort of passenger transport for tourists, which obviously would be a benefit to South Australians as well, is one of those things that we know is important.
Oh, Matter Avis Truck Rental could probably help.
I think without a doubt.
Indeed.
And Daisy, question without notice, but we're putting together an itinerary for the King today because the one the state government put together was, frankly, boring. A round table on Kangaroo Island. As the CEO of the Tourism Industry Council SA, we have to ask you, what would be your top tip? Where would you send the King if he was to come to South Australia?
Gosh, I tell you what, I couldn't pick a favourite. That's like asking who my favourite child is in terms of where the King might go. But I think there's probably some value in having him stand up on top of the Adelaide Oval for a long-term
roof climb
shot, tourism shot. it's the best oval in the world, and we know that His Majesty enjoys cricket, so why not pop him up the top there? Have him kind of do that thing where they lean back, make all of the staff a little bit nervous. I think that's a memorable one.
That's a brilliant suggestion, Daisy. Magnificent
great
work.
call.
Thank you. Daisy Miller, the CEO of the Tourism Industry Council of South Australia, our guest. Let's head out to Craigmore.
I was just going to say, imagine being that person that had to tighten the whatever they're called, the
shackle thing.
Shackle that holds the king up when he
That
lets
clip.
his hands go at the top of the Adelaide. You'd want to triple check that. Make sure that is as tight as it can be.
Have you done the roof climb?
Yeah.
You feel very secure, don't you? Or
I never feel secure when I'm at that height.
I'm one of the biggest cowards on planet Earth, but I thought doing that, I felt I'm locked into so much stuff here.
Oh no.
Okay.
No, doesn't matter how many cables I have.
All right. I'd hook the king in. Let's go to Craigmore. Dean, where are you taking the king?
I reckon a must go to. Rip him out to Lower Light Hotel and hook him up with a calamari schnitzel.
That's a fantastic suggestion, Dean. A calamari schnitzel for the king.
I need to try one of these.
I bet they're not serving them at Windsor or Buckingham Palace.
Is it a big block of calamari? I need a photo of this. What does a calamari
Dean's
schnitzel
just hung
look
up.
like? Oh,
Yeah.
Dean.
If anyone,
I need more information about the calamari schnitty.
any food influencers out there, if you've taken a picture of a calamari schnitzel, you can text it through to us on 0480 1395. Doesn't feel like sort of food influencer fare, the calamari schnitzel, does it?
At the Lower Light Hotel, was it?
Yeah, that's right. Dean, that was brilliant. Keep the suggestions coming through. It's been a lot of fun, and this is one hell of a itinerary that we're putting together for the king. Remember, you can watch along on the Facebook and YouTube live stream right throughout the morning. Step up to end homelessness. Stacey will give you a wave periodically. Walk a mile in my boots. Register or donate today. walkamile.org.au. But right now we're going to check traffic. Winter, snow and shine at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre multi-storey car park this Saturday. See horsepowercrew.com.
Slowing through Port Adelaide around a broken down truck at Francis Street near Perkins Drive. It's delays for outbound through there. To Andrews Farm, we've got a car fire near Davern Road at Stevenage Road and in Para Hills West. An earlier collision at Maxwell Road near Main North Road still causing some delays as well. Nominations are now open for the 2027 Australian of the Year Awards. Who inspires you? Nominate now at australianoftheyear.org.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The energy today, the amount of people who got up before dawn, walking 1 mile in the shoes of someone that has nothing.
Step up to end homelessness. Walk a mile in my boots. Register or donate today.
All makes and models in stock right now with 15 technicians standing by to get you back on the road. You don't need to wait. Tell your insurance company you want complete windscreens on the job. CompleteWindscreens.com.au. Look for the big red koala.
Your old hot water system can drive as much as 40% of your energy bill. Fortunately, you can upgrade to something that's 70% cheaper to run thanks to Right Price. They're the leaders in heat pumps and installation. Now's the time to upgrade and save money on a more efficient hot water system and take advantage of government incentives and free installation. Reduce your energy costs today with a heat pump from Right Price. Make the switch with Right Price Hot Water.
At Right Price, heating and cooling, you can get the price right at Right Price.
Had a whoopsie, a bingle or a big kabong?
Pro Paint and Panel can organise towing, manage the insurance paperwork and repair your car to a high standard.
So remember the 3 Ps. Pro Paint and Panel, South Road, Hindmarsh.
Hutt Street Centre supports South Australians experiencing homelessness every day. They do a remarkable work, Hutt Street Centre, providing meals, showers, support services and a safe place for people doing it tough.
And as we know, demand is continuing to rise, especially through winter, and support from the community has never been more important.
And that's why this year's Walk a Mile in My Boots on Friday 7th is so important, raising vital funds and awareness for people experiencing homelessness right here in South Australia.
And getting involved is easy. Sign up, spread the word and walk together on Friday, August 7. And if you can't be there on the day, a donation still makes a real difference.
Step up to end homelessness. Register or donate today at walkamile.org.au.
Beechwood Homes, Adelaide's leading bespoke home builder, celebrates 35 years. Over that time, they've helped many hundreds of people realise their dream of building a home exactly how they envisioned it. That's the wonderful thing about building with Beechwood. There are no set plans, no set rules. It all starts with a pen, paper, and your ideas. Just like it did 35 years ago. If you can dream it, Beechwood Homes can build it.
Life's good. It's even better in a Beachwood home.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
8 to 8, putting together the dream itinerary for King Charles. We think our listeners, in fact, we know our listeners have gone one better than the state government with their itinerary. And one of the great suggestions that just came through was from Dean in Craigmore with the calamari schnitzel at the Lower Light Hotel, which is, I think, first stop, frankly, in terms of the 5AA breakfast itinerary that we're putting together. You had some questions about it, Stace.
I'm intrigued.
Well,
I mean, I've had a schnitty or two in my day, but never a calamari schnitzel.
You've got questions, we've got answers. Bev Kemble from the Lower Light Hotel joins us now. Bev, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Bev, what does a calamari schnitzel look like?
Well, it looks a bit like a normal chicken schnitzel, only a bit bigger and a bit thinner. And the boys get it from the calamari. I have a guy that does all my fish, and he crumbs it, and then we deep fry, and we put it on with a garlic sauce, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, you're making me so hungry.
Were you first to do calamari schnitzels, Bev?
Well, I'm not sure, but we just brought them up, and for the last 3 or 4 years we've had them.
Claim it. I'd claim it.
Yeah.
So you'll have to come up and have one. They are beautiful.
What these days, what's the most popular schnitzel you serve at the Lower Light Hotel?
It would be chicken, and then probably beef, and then calamari.
What sauce do people typically have? What's the trendy sauce these days?
Mushroom. The girl that started our mushroom sauce actually won an award for her mushroom sauce.
Oh.
So that's probably that, and the normal gravy is our popular.
What would you serve the king, Bev?
Oh, gosh. Now you're asking. Probably a calamari schnitzel.
It has to be. He's never had one of those before.
Yeah.
Bev, I've always wanted to ask a publican this. Diane sauce, should it be gravy-esque or should it be drizzly and more of a jus type of consistency?
It should be creamy.
Yep, I'm with you, 100%.
Yep, nice and creamy.
Thank
Bev,
you.
That was excellent, Bev. Good to chat with you. Bev Campbell at the Lower Light Hotel. Go in and get yourself a calamari schnitzel. That was David Pemberthe-esque there with the jus for a second. Must be something about that chair.
I'm feeling a bit of paella tomorrow.
I just thought I had a flashback all of a sudden. All right, let's talk real estate. Front page of the paper yesterday.
Yeah.
It's been headline news ever since the budget, and we've talked about it a lot with Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop, but Bronte Manuel, good morning to you. It bears talking out again because with every week and month that goes past, we get some more data. What do we know about the situation here in Adelaide as it relates to those headline figures and some of those forecasts around 10% drops that they're saying by the end of next year that some of the banks have put out?
Yeah, so guys, look, Adelaide's a little bit. I kind of look at the property cycles because there's property cycles going. They go 24/7. They go year after year, regardless of what government policy is happening, right? And on the cycle going up and peaking, we've got Adelaide and Brisbane. Now, Adelaide and Brisbane, more particularly Adelaide, when it goes from the top of the cycle to the bottom, that is a plateau for Adelaide. We've only gone backwards twice and I kept saying 42, but 43 years now. 1 year for 4%, one for 3%. So Adelaide price growth, is it going to be 10%, 12%, 13%? No, because we're at the part of the cycle where we're now going to be that 1 to 2, 3% growth. Last month, we went backwards for a month, not for a year, for a month, and we went backwards 0.2%. So people that owned $1 million property lost $2,000. The last time that happened was in September 2022. And in 2022, price growth went up 12 to 13%. So you can't analyse a market on a month. You've got to analyse it on a year, right? So when you read those headlines, there are places that are going backwards in value, and it's Melbourne and it's Sydney. And if you're a hardcore investor, there are people sitting waiting for Melbourne to bottom out because that's going to be where they buy. So it's not necessarily like I think a lot of those headlines are just related to property data and cycles. But if we look at what's happening with the budget, etc., the sentiment in the market definitely has flattened because people just don't know what's up, what's down. What we get told one day can be changed the next day. So when we don't know what's happening, we have this thing called analysis paralysis, and we sit on our hands and do nothing. Now, to that point, all I would hope and all I would pray, we've got to remember that 98 to 99% of development is done by private developers. The developers that are building 25 or 30 homes at a time, they're kind of not scared off by it. They're still doing their thing. But I just hope that of that 99%, they make up a majority, because the mum and dads that were building, 2 houses or 3 houses, they're sitting on their hands, packed up their bat and ball. So if they've done that and they account for 30% of new homes, then what we're actually doing is kicking the can down the road, and this housing, supply and demand issue is actually going to be worse because we're building less homes.
Bronte, what about rents? Has there been any change in rents in Adelaide? Are we seeing rental prices go up as a result?
At the moment, I would honestly just say that they're probably more stable than anything, but that's overarchingly. But if, Stacey, you had a property and it was worth $600 a week in rent and you were letting someone live there for $450 because it didn't really matter and you got a little bit of a tax break for it, I can promise when that rent renewal comes up, you're putting that up to $500, $525. The next time it's going to be $580, and then you're going to get to $600 in a 3-year cycle. So they're the ones that are going up. But there is actually a white paper that was written last time this happened, the negative gearing situation. Rents rose dramatically, and we're talking double digits, but it was really only in Sydney and Perth that happened, and that is why kind of it all got reversed. So, look, I think rents, if you were getting good rent for your property, I'm talking from a investor's perspective, if you were getting good money for a year ago, I don't think it's going to go up. But any sort of tenant that was getting a sweetheart deal, they're getting thinned out now, and they're few and far between.
Terrific analysis, Bronte. We appreciate it as always, mate. Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. We look at the national real estate picture and the local real estate picture. Obviously, it's a good cautionary tale about budget forecasts this as well, I think, because if you recall, at the time the federal budget was released, the forecast was the sum impact of these housing policies, negative gearing, capital gains tax and so forth, disincentivising investors, was that housing prices would grow more slowly. They would grow more slowly.
Yeah.
Now, I think everyone, well, that feels like a pretty political outcome because they're a cohort of people with mortgages that use it. That'll be their retirement, for whom declining house prices are very unpopular. But you're not seriously tackling the issue of affordability unless your house prices are getting cheaper. But the official budget forecasts say they will continue to rise. I think it's fascinating.
Well, and then you've got people like Andrew on the text line. I wish it would go back in value for years so people can actually afford to buy a house.
I don't think anyone's speaking honestly or plainly about this in this country at the moment. I'm not sure how you can say we're going to fix the housing crisis in the absence of there being a reduction in the price of houses. And that's going to affect people.
Build more really, really quickly,
which we can't.
We can't.
Which we can't.
Especially if we're having an immigration debate, because who's going to build the houses?
Well, this is just it. And if what the byproduct of, if we could click our fingers and build 500,000 new houses, they would go down in price.
Yeah.
Because there would be no availability issues. Rents would go down as well. So we're caught betwixt and between this politicised debate over something that, frankly, I think it's plain what's happening, and I think it's plain it's happening by design. And I think people are smart enough to make their own decisions on the basis of whether that is to their benefit or not. 8 o'clock, 5AA News Time, breaking at 8 coming up in just a moment.
If you're after legendary reliability and safety, get a Toyota forklift. Yep, Toyota is still the world's #1 forklift brand, famous across just about every industry for their reliability and safety. That's the Toyota Forklift Advantage. And with great electric options and branches all over the country, find the right Toyota forklift for you at toyotamaterialhandling.com.au. Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift.
Local news and information first. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Showers today, heading for 16. With the 8 o'clock news, good morning, I'm Kendall Brattig.
Had a collision? Get in touch with FIVEAA Panel Services and have your car returned to its former beauty.
A car has crashed through the fence of a home at Hazelwood Park this morning. Luckily, the home on Cooper Place wasn't damaged. Senior Constable Scott James says the 3 occupants of the car did a runner.
We called in police dog Hank and Griffin just to assist with the search for the trio. However, they were not located. We did do some checks on the vehicle and it was not reported stolen, and our investigations are continuing.
A teenager has been arrested for driving at extreme speed at Salisbury East yesterday. The P-plater was clocked by a mobile traffic camera on Clayson Road doing 107 in a 50 zone. The 17-year-old boy has been charged with aggravated extreme speed dangerous and contravening his provisional licence conditions. He's lost his licence for 12 months and his car's been impounded for 28 days. The Coalition says it still has a long road ahead despite a recent surge in popularity. The latest Resolve survey has seen the opposition seize 3 points off One Nation to hold 23% of the vote. Labor still eclipses both Conservative parties at 28%. Deputy Liberal leader Jane Hume says Australians are beginning to realise One Nation is not the alternative they're looking for.
That their policies are great slogans, but they're written on the back of a napkin. There's so little substance behind it. When One Nation say that they haven't costed their policies, that's because they don't want to know the truth behind those policies, that in fact they could inflict a world of economic pain on Australia.
Experts say recent strikes traded by the US and Iran are only the beginning of a wider escalation in the conflict. Washington says it's hit 140 Iranian targets, with Tehran returning fire on military bases in neighbouring Gulf states. Former Pentagon operative Tony Shaffer has told Today a return to all-out war is inevitable.
The Strait of Hormuz is problematic. I think our Arab allies, heck, Bahrain and Kuwait launched attacks of their own without us within the last few days. So I could see our Arab allies jumping in with or without us based on some of the activities of the Iranians attacking them.
Paper arrival cards for incoming travellers will soon be phased out at all international airports after a successful trial. The $56 million federal government scheme will see the traditional paper card replaced with a new digital declaration over the next 2 years. Archaeologists have uncovered a 3,000-year-old tomb in southern Egypt. The tomb found in the ancient city of Luxor consists of an open courtyard leading to a chapel and burial chambers. More from the BBC's Joanna King.
Luxor is home to some of the world's most significant ancient monuments. This tomb, uncovered by a team of Dutch archaeologists from Leiden University, dates from the Ramesside period, which spanned Egypt's 19th and 20th dynasties. Inscriptions inside identify its owner as a man named Parsa. Scenes show him worshipping various deities, as well as seated with his wife before an offering table. Well-preserved items were also found, including a mud brick bench designed to hold a burial monument and a staircase flanked by sloping ramps.
Turning to 5AA Sport.
From designer to traditional or contemporary, there's a Gliderol garage door to match your home. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. It is back to work for the Crows and Port Adelaide as they now look ahead to their round 19 matches. The Power are counting the cost of their 14-point loss to St Kilda. Jason Horne-Francis has been offered a one-match ban for a bump on Liam Stocker, while acting captain Zach Butters will have ankle surgery and may not play again this season. Mitch Georgiades is on concussion protocols and will miss the match against Fremantle at home, while Jack Lukosius is also in doubt. That's after a flare-up of a calf injury against the Saints. Meantime, the Crows are set to be without Rory Laird, who was forced onto crutches. That was after the club's 79-point demolition of the Gold Coast Suns. But Laird is hopeful he won't be out for long.
It actually feels a little bit better than I thought it would this morning. Hoping for a short-term rather than long-termer. They're pretty bullish on that.
That audio thanks to 9. And there were 3 games to wrap up the round yesterday. The Bulldogs, Melbourne and Brisbane all securing wins. Let's go to cricket. The Bazball era is officially over for the English Test team. Just weeks after Captain Ben Stokes announced his retirement, Brendan McCullum has been sacked as Test coach. Yannick Sinner has won his 5th Grand Slam title after coming from a set down to beat Alexander Zverev in 4. It means Sinner has now won back-to-back Wimbledon crowns. Well, it's been a great weekend for South Korean golf. Haeran Yu has won the women's major, the FIVEAA Championship in France, in a playoff over Canada's Brooke Henderson, while Tom Kim won the men's Scottish Open by 2 shots over Aussie Minwoo Lee. To motorsport, Brodie Kostecki has claimed his 6th win of the Supercars season, winning race 22 in Townsville ahead of Matt Payne and Cam Waters. Payne leads the championship, though, by 92 points. Meantime, 7-time world champion Marc Marquez has won the German MotoGP. And Mathieu van der Poel has won Stage 9 of cycling's Tour de France. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Slowing through Somerton Park at Brighton Road near Harrow Road around ongoing roadworks. In Crafers West, we've got a bit of fog on the freeway still causing some issues just above the tunnels. Around Andrews Farm, an earlier car fire still causing delays at Daverin Road near Stephenhithe Road, and in Port Adelaide, a broken down truck at Francis Street near Perkins Drive has it slowing for outbound travellers. Get 3K off select MY 26.5 Everest plus the first 5 general services free. Participating Ford dealers only. Visit ford.com.au for details. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
To the weather, showers today, a high of 16, easing tomorrow, 17, partly cloudy Wednesday, 16, and mostly sunny Thursday, also 16. At the moment, 12 on 5AA, Always Adelaide.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. Toop and Toop has been named Australia's #1 large residential agency of the year at the Real Estate Institute of Australia National Awards. It's a proud moment and a reflection of more than 40 years helping South Australians buy and sell property with trusted advice, strategic expertise and exceptional results. As a family-owned agency, we're incredibly grateful to our clients and community for placing their trust in Toop and Toop since 1985. To learn more, visit toop.com.au.
It's Tyre Power's Winter Safety Sale, so you get the power to buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Toyo tyres. For a safer drive this winter, visit tyrepower.com.au.
Planning a group outing does not need to be complicated. 4 Knots Murray River Cruises Murray Bridge offers relaxing private charter cruises for groups of 12 to 40 people, and it's just over an hour from Adelaide.
It's ideal for retirement villages, social clubs, birthdays, anniversaries, family gatherings. Wow, they really do it all. Also, community groups who are looking for an easy day out.
Enjoy a peaceful 2-hour cruise along the Murray River with scenic views, wildlife, good company, and you get simple options to eat like coffee and cake.
Yum. 4 Knots can also tailor a charter experience to suit your group so it feels relaxed, organised and memorable without being overdone. To get in touch, simply email 4knotsmrcruise@gmail.com. That's 4knotsmrcruise@gmail.com.
I feel more relaxed just thinking about it. Imagine what it's been like on it. 4 Knots Murray River Cruises provide outings for groups who want something enjoyable, local and a little bit special. Get in touch today.
Renovating your bathroom, kitchen or laundry is exciting. It's the bit after that's annoying. Cleaning and scrubbing mould out of grout. Well, if you choose Mr. Wet Wall now instead of tiles, you'll have a lot less to do later. With Mr. Wet Wall, there's no grout, just a stunning, smooth surface that's stylish and 100% waterproof. It's quicker to install, so it costs less, and there's zero mess. So why wouldn't you? Mr. Wet Wall. MrWetWall.com.
Setting the agenda for South Australia. This is 5AA, Always Adelaide.
Knockdown, build 2 with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
10 minutes after 8, breaking 8 coming up in just a moment. It's been a big morning for the Lower Light Hotel and the calamari schnitzels, it turns out, as we designed an itinerary for King Charles. I think it was Dean and Craigmore that alerted us to the calamari schnitzel.
Yep.
Turns out that you can also get them at the Mawson Lakes Hotel. Thank you for that, Jeff and Cheltenham. And a lot of love for the Lower Light Hotel coming through as well.
Yeah.
We chatted with Bev before the break. She was an absolute legend. That was terrific. Happy to take more suggestions for the King's itinerary if you've got ideas for us. 8223 0000 is the number, or 0480 8 1395 if you prefer to send a text. A lot of stuff to talk about this hour. Looking forward to Graham Corns coming on to talk about the most inhospitable places for coaches to go over the course of AFL and SANFL history, because Damien Hardwick's complained, I think it was Chris Scott complained about having to walk through the crowd at Adelaide Oval.
Oh, the poor things.
And Graham Corns has had to do it at Windy Hill. He's had to do it at Princess Park. He has to do it at the old VFL grounds, where I imagine... Moorabbin. He would have heard some choice words over the course of the journey. So we'll chat with Graham Corns about that, see if he's got any sympathy for the head coaches.
Does anyone have any sympathy?
The players have to walk off the ground through the race under that sort of phalanx of people yelling all sorts of stuff. I think the coach can deal with it, can't they?
I'm just thinking about our itinerary for the King. He goes to public places.
Absolutely.
The Pope goes, he's in his Pope-mobile, isn't he?
Yeah, that's true. I'm sure.
Do we need a coach-mobile?
I'm guessing the Pope, a coach-mobile. Now you're talking. Just drive them onto the ground. That's a terrific idea. Speaking of choice words, John Schumann, good friend of the program, obviously the Vagabond crew and of Red Gum fame. Love talking to John about all manner of things. Well, he's got some thoughts on the MotoGP and golf course redevelopment and what it's going to mean for trees in the parklands, and he's put that into song form. You're going to hear the new tune, and from John after 8:30 live on 5AA Breakfast. So stick around for that as well. Right now, though, it's time for Breaking It 8.
Well, I think it's pretty safe to say it's a situation that most of us hope we are never in, to have a family member killed. And it's probably something that's never crossed your mind, but I think most of us would assume that if you were in that unthinkable situation, that you'd be offered some sort of ongoing support. Well, that's not the case for young South Australians, and some are having to travel interstate to join support groups. Someone who knows about this all too well is Magda Pearce. She's the spokesperson for the Homicide Victims Support Group, and she joins us in the studio this morning. Hi, Magda. Thank you so much for coming in.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for having me.
We really appreciate your time because it's not an easy thing to talk about. And I mentioned that you're the spokesperson for the Homicide Victims Support Group here in South Australia, but you're also personally navigating this space at the moment following the death of your son, Wukash, in 2020.
That's right. So I'm a spokesperson, as you mentioned correctly, but also I'm a family member, which indicates that I'm affected by the crime as well. And it's coming up 6 years in August. The first years you kind of try to navigate the situations, if you like, within your own family. You're trying your best to go day by day. And I think that's why for the first few years I wasn't really aware what's out there until Ricky got older. So when his brother died, he was only 4 years old. Now he's about to turn 10. And I've discovered that there is literally nothing for him to be able to get support from.
And you've had to take him interstate to be able to get some support as well.
To get support, but also to feel connected, if you like. I mean, no one wants to be connected because no one wants to be part of this group to begin with. But, as an adult, I feel really isolated at times. And I do have a support group for adults where you can go and you can have conversations. And obviously, it's easier for us to express how we feel, what we want, what we need. When you're so little, apart from your family who really navigates blind, while I am anyway, there was nothing that I could actually take Ricky and get some help or feeling less isolated. Not necessarily that the children this age will talk and discuss the cases, but that feeling of being part of, not being the only child, the only teenager that is affected by this tremendous trauma that you live with and continue with live. It was just, it was hard knowing that there is nothing here.
So what are the sorts of services that are being offered in other states that aren't offered here?
In New South Wales, there is a support group that's been around for many, many years, same as ours, and obviously it was a long time in making, but they have purposely built a centre for children affected by homicide. So everything there is to support them, and they run programs for young children, adolescents, pre-teens. So it's those programs where they are supported through play and through understanding, and they are, I guess, the purpose of it to give them hope. So, you know, like, for example, with Ricky, even though he is half glass full person and he loves people and he always sees good in people, you know, when they get older, it's quite possible that that outlook will change, and that might impact his ability to see a future or hope for his, you know, lives ahead. So that's what it is.
And so have you looked into options that we could have for support for young victims of homicide in South Australia?
We have, and I'm really pleased to say that we started a pilot program which is being facilitated by a youth worker. His name is Mark Cohen. And what's great about this is that we have involved the children. Not all of them had a chance to go to Grace's place. That's the place in New South Wales. But what he is doing, he is meeting with them and asking them, what is it that you think will work? What will help you navigate the future? And it's designed for them, by them. And it's all through play and understanding and connection. That's what we're doing. They met a couple of times already. We've got another meeting coming up, and we are hoping to start the first program, hopefully in October, so not far away.
As was always the case with these things, I guess funding has come up. Are you getting any support from the state government, or how will you fund it?
So we do have great relationship with the government, and they are listening to us, they're helping us, they're really interested in what we're wanting to do. And we will be asking for the funding from the government, but also we wanting to be very proactive ourselves. So we are now a non-for-profit organisation. It's being finalised as we speak, and we're obviously going to be doing some fundraising as well. However, that's more ad hoc basis. So we need that money from.
And just how much is it?
Okay, I knew you were going to ask, but I would say that per session we're looking about $10,000. That includes the accommodation, the space, the venue, the different things that the children want to do. But that's also, and I'm sorry if that's not your question, we're also needing that money to continue sending those children to Grace's place, because the program that we're having developed for the children, South Australian children in South Australia, we wanted to run adjacent to the Grace's place.
The one in Sydney.
That one in Sydney.
Okay. Well, $10,000. It's not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Magda, I hope you can get that money, and thank you for coming in and sharing with us, because as I say, I think it's something that a lot of people would assume this support is offered, and unfortunately it's not. So thank you for helping to raise the awareness.
No, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
That's Magda Pearce.
$10,000 in this day and age for something that, look, just because you don't want to think about it doesn't mean you shouldn't. As a state, and I think that should be something we get sorted very, very quickly. 19 minutes after 8. Let's check traffic. Wintertime snow and shine at Adelaide Entertainment Centre multi-storey car park this Saturday. See horsepowercrew.com.
Delays through Port Adelaide around a broken down truck at Francis Street near Perkins Drive. It's slowing for outbound travellers through there. In Cravers West, a bit of fog on the freeway just above the tunnels causing issues, and to Summerton Park at Brighton Road near Harrow Road, ongoing roadworks causing delays there too. The cat's out of the bag. Audi prices just got Audier across the Choco Mini range, now only $4.99 per pack. Audi, good, different. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The energy today, the amount of people who got up before dawn, walking 1 mile in the shoes of someone that has nothing.
Step up to end homelessness. Walk a mile in My Boots. Register or donate today.
In the second half, and it really paid dividends for us.
Swarmed? That's an understatement, isn't it?
Adelaide's only local sports show.
Fremantle don't play 4 quarters of footy.
The 5AA Sports Show. Weekday afternoons from 4 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Beechwood Homes, Adelaide's leading bespoke home builder, celebrates 35 years. Over that time, they've helped many hundreds of people realise their dream of building a home exactly how they envisioned it.
That's the wonderful thing about building with Beechwood. There are no set plans, no set rules. It all starts with a pen, paper, and your ideas. Just like it did 35 years ago. If you can dream it, Beechwood Homes can build it. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
Do you need legal help right now? At Anderson Solicitors, we put people first. Expert legal advice when and where it's needed. Trusted by South Australians for over 50 years with 6 locations. Anderson Solicitors. Help when you need it.
Now, you don't just cook a barbie, you command it. You're the head of the grill, keeper of the flame, sovereign of the snag, which is exactly why your kingdom deserves an Adelaide outdoor kitchen. Choose the best appliances. You can add a bar fridge, chuck in a pizza oven, or make jaws drop with a custom-made concrete benchtop designed as a statement piece.
Indoor concrete benchtops too. Handmade and one of a kind. Nothing off the shelf. Every piece is crafted just for you, and no 2 slabs are ever the same. So experience the Wow Factor range in person at the Seaford Meadows showroom on Farrow Circuit, or contact Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens for more information.
Serious hosts have serious kitchens. Build yours with Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens. Visit adelaideoutdoorkitchens.com.au.
Oh, geez, it's hot in here. Can someone pass the Morford air? Oh, that's better.
When the temperature is too hot or cold to bear, reach for the Morford Air, Adelaide's own homegrown family air conditioning company. Morford Air has kept South Australians perfectly comfortable for over 50 years. So when it's too hot or cold to bear, you can always reach for the Morford Air. Look for the bright blue building at 602 Marion Road or visit morfordair.com.au.
Morford Air. Every bathroom comes with a dark side. Mould. It sneaks into grout. But what if it had nothing to sneak into? What if you chose Mr. Wet Wool instead of tiles for your bathroom and wet areas? It costs less and there's no scrubbing grout. Because with Mr. Wet Wool, there is no grout. Just a smooth, stylish surface, easy to clean and stunning to look at. So why wouldn't you Mr. Wet Wool? MrWetWool.com.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Knock down, build 2 with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
23 minutes after 8. Graham Corns coming up in just a moment. We're going to talk about inhospitable places for coaches over the course of AFL and SANFL history. But first, we're going to play a little game we like to call Hit the High Note. We have a double pass to Into the Woods to give away that's playing at Her Majesty's Theatre. Experience music, magic and mystery with Into the Woods. 4 shows only at Her Majesty's Theatre, August 22 to 29. Book now through State Opera South Australia, or give us a call right now and aim to hit the high note. The song, well, the component of a song you'll be singing is the end of this.
Yeah.
And when we play it properly, the bit will
It'll
cut
stop.
out
Okay.
and you finish
I'm
off
with
the
you.
voice, which I think a few people suggested earlier as we were talking about the Australian version of the Wonderwall song to the English football team that the fans sing. Maybe You're the Voice could be our answer to that. So we'll find if you can hit the high note, get calling now. 8223 0055 is the number, and you could win yourself. You will win yourself, frankly. We're not the hardest judges in the world. And Into the Woods.
I don't know.
Well, you're right, Stacey. We haven't seen your
can be pretty
exposed
tricky.
form. All right, well, you might have to be on your best game. Get calling now, 8223 0055. Hit the high note for that double pass to see that magnificent show. Have a listen to Gold Coast Suns coach Damien Hardwick after the game.
Those sort of people are the guys that live in their mum's basements and type on bloody social media forums. We've got to do something about it. It's a dangerous position to put us in.
He's concerned about having to walk through the crowd at Adelaide Oval. Chris Scott has raised concerns about this previously as well. He stopped. There seemed to be an altercation and words exchanged. We wanted to get someone on who's done this and done it at worse places than Adelaide Oval, and there's none better than our very own Graham Corns. Graham, good morning to you.
G'day, guys. How are you?
Is he a sook, Damien Hardwick, or do you think he's got a point?
Not at all. There's always some smart aleck in the crowd who wants to have a crack, and they have no appreciation of the pressure the coaches are under the white hot emotion. You are on the absolute edge, and it doesn't take much to tip you over. I thought he was very contained, really. There's been times when coaches have gone further than that, myself included.
What was the worst place in your coaching career to walk through the crowd, or which ground was the worst?
Moorabbin, the old Moorabbin ground was pretty bad, but the Cardinia Park, when the coach's box was like just a chicken roost in front of the grandstand, and the supporters could stand right in front of you. You had just right in front of you. That was pretty bad. Windy Hill was bad because there was just a glass separating, and if Essendon kick a goal, the supporter would race up and do all sorts of gesticulation. I remember telling Neil Curley one day, this guy was kept doing it. I just said, "Curl, go and get him." and Curl said, "Get him yourself."
So, Cornsey, do you think that there's merit in what Damien Hardwick's saying, that we should find another way so the coaches don't have to walk through the crowd at the Oval?
Well, that Western Stand is so poorly designed. It was done by the Cricket Association. There should be some way of getting the coach from the coach's block onto the ground without having any interaction with the supporters. Now, at Footy Park, we didn't have coaches' boxes until 1991, and the only reason we had that is a similar circumstance. We played Geelong in a pre-season game in our first year, and Blighty and his assistants decided to sit in the corner of the first level of the grandstand, the old Footy Park grandstand, and these guys kept giving him a hard time. So Geelong complained, and the AFL insisted that we build coaches' boxes. The visitors' one was ready for our first game. Ours wasn't, which was a bit annoying. But there's been other places, like in Sydney, we sat in the members just in seats, and there's just people around listening. And
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. You couldn't write this stuff now, but unless they can redesign Adelaide Oval, or unless they can put up one of those tunnels, those portable tunnels that they sort of automatically erect, that's going to happen again, because there's always someone who wants to have a smart aleck crack. And I reckon had he been closer to Damien Hardwick, he'd be within his rights to turn around and build him.
Yeah.
Now, I know that's going to go over well, but anyway.
We're going to explore this further in a moment, Graham, but just wanted to point out the fact that conversations today is a very special conversations. We're going to replay the conversation that Graham Corns did with Darren Hinch, the legendary broadcaster who passed away at the end of last week, of course. So stick around for that. That's happening a little bit later today. Graham Corns with Darren Hinch in a very special conversations a little bit later. The reason I wanted to move on, because we've got Dave on the line. Dave's mate was one of the people who exchanged words with Damien Hardwick. Dave, tell us what happened.
Yeah, good morning. So I've got a mate, and we'll call him Boxhead, right? Anyway,
this is starting well for Boxhead.
Sounds legit.
Yeah, I know. But I've heard my mate give a spray before, right? And he's deadly. I went and visited him yesterday, and he said his face was on the show, the footy show on Channel 9 yesterday morning,
right,
as being one of these people that apparently said something. Now, my mate is all sorts of things. He's funny, he's loud, he's obnoxious, but what he's not disrespectful. So the person that was sitting behind them apparently said something that was along the lines of, hey, Dimmer, you're not winning a premiership this year, or something along those lines.
Okay.
Right? As simple as that. The security guards, after Dimmer carried on like a pork chop, turned around and went straight to the bloke and were laughing and said, look, we agree with what you said, but come on, we've got to do our job. And then my mate, Boxhead, sort of laughed out loud because he's loud. And again, apparently it was an offensive. Now, to me, Dimmer needs to work on his suntan and get his head out of his backside and just let people be people, because there was nothing said on fact, on the basis that should have been derogatory, discriminatory, anything other than footy banter, and he needs to lighten up. And I thought Dimmer was better than that.
If it played out the way Boxhead describes it, Dave, then I agree with you. That's not abusive. That's not abusive. Now, maybe he heard something else. He's walking through a crowd and where he turned wasn't necessarily where an abusive comment came from. I'd be willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. But, yeah, we're not getting to the point. I mean, let's pack up Australian rules footy if you get to the point you say, mate, you're not winning the premiership this year, and that's somehow beyond the pale.
Well, and I just think that we should be careful with words here. Damien Hardwick calling it dangerous. Come on.
Well, not if it's what Dave's mate Boxhead said.
It's such a big word to use in 2026. Like, dangerous.
And I think Graham Corn's hit on it. Yes, okay, look, maybe in an ideal world, if we're building a ground from scratch, that's what you do. But if the price to pay for the icon that is Adelaide Oval, designed as it is and unique as it is there's this one feature of it that's suboptimal, look, I just think that's just going to be part of the flavour and the legend of Adelaide Oval then. Yeah. Now, if it was physical or there were words more significant than that, okay.
Of course.
But no one's put the name to any words more significant than that. So, look, as reticent as I am to take Boxhead's name for it, word for it, I'm going to in this case. So thank you to Dave for calling in. 5AA News Time. Jane is currently going through some vocal warm-ups, and Jane is about to do her best version of John Farnham on the other side of this 5AA News.
This, Jane.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers and 16 with the 8:30 news. Good morning, I'm Kendall Brattig.
Need a crash repairer you can trust? FIVEAA Panel Services delivers expert care to you and your vehicle.
The federal government's moving to reassure Australians our fuel supply is secure despite renewed conflict in the Middle East. Tehran has declared the Strait of Hormuz closed after exchanging strikes with US forces in the region. Donald Trump has insisted the crucial shipping route remains open. Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke says Australia's fuel reserves remain higher than when the war began.
If you rewind back to the start of the conflict, where our opponents were trying to get people to panic about it, the way we've just calmly been making sure that for the different forms of fuel, for petrol, for diesel, for aviation gas, just making sure that Australian stocks are secure puts us in good stead.
Support for One Nation continues to fall as the coalition makes up ground. Michael Packy has details.
The latest Resolve poll has voter support for One Nation down 3 points to 26%, while backing for the coalition has risen by the same amount, but the party is still in third spot, with Labor in the lead. The research maintains strong backing for some of Pauline Hanson's policies. For instance, more than half of those surveyed agree with her assertion many young workers are lazy. But Senator Hanson is losing support among voters aged 18 to 34, some immigrants and women. The Resolve data shows Anthony Albanese is again preferred Prime Minister over Senator Hanson.
Police are investigating a hit-run crash at Hazelwood Park this morning. Just before 4, a Mazda sedan crashed into a fence of a home on Cooper Place. Luckily, the home itself wasn't impacted and the 3 occupants ran off. Checks on the vehicle revealed it wasn't reported stolen. Investigations are continuing to identify the driver and passengers. And a P-plater was clocked at more than double the speed limit at Salisbury East yesterday. Senior Constable Scott James says he was snapped by a mobile traffic camera on Clayson Road doing 107 in a 50 zone.
Road policing officers attended the registered owner's address shortly after, which was at Salisbury North, and they located the vehicle involved. The alleged driver, who was a 17-year-old boy and provisional licence driver, was then arrested. He was charged with aggravated extreme speed, speed dangerous, and also breaching his P conditions, and we've taken his licence for 12 months.
Police are investigating a car fire at Broadview this morning. A Volkswagen sedan went up in flames on Tarakan Avenue just after 3:20. A nearby Toyota SUV also caught fire. And around 2,500 people are expected to fill out the Sydney Opera House concert hall this morning to farewell Professor Richard Scolyer. The state funeral service will be attended by the Prime Minister. The former Australian of the Year died at 59 after a 3-year battle with brain cancer. Now turning listening to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol garage doors are proudly and brilliantly made right in South Australia. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. Adelaide has finished round 18 in 5th spot after Brisbane leapt past them after thumping Essendon by 90 points in last night's game at the Gabba. The Bombers had managed only 1 goal to three-quarter time, but at least managed to boot 7 in the final term. Meantime, the MCG remains a fortress for Melbourne after thumping Richmond by 46 points, and the Western Bulldogs have kept their hopes of a top 6 finish alive after edging past West Coast by 16 points. Well, Yannick Sinner has won back-to-back Wimbledon crowns after a 4-set win over German Alexander Zverev in the final. It's the Italian's 5th major title.
Yeah, amazing achievement from my side. Very tough match today against Sasha. Felt like both very high level because it was not easy to play. It was very dusty, breezy, very happy. And of course, standing here again as champion means a lot to me.
Let's go to golf. South Korea's Haran Yu has won this year's FIVEAA Championship in France after winning in a playoff over Canada's Brooke Henderson. It's an incredible result for the 25-year-old who broke through for her first major less than a month ago.
It's you again. Haran Yu wins the Amundi Evian Championship and claims her 2nd straight major title.
Audio there thanks to Fox. Meantime, Tom Kim, also from South Korea, won the men's Scottish Open while Aussie Minwoo Lee was runner-up 2 shots back. Players are now assembling at the Royal Birkdale Golf Club in the northwest of England ahead of the Open Championship, which begins on Thursday afternoon our time. And Brendan McCullum has been sacked as England's Test cricket coach, bringing an end to the Bazball era. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now to the traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate. Experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
To Clarence Gardens, the boom gates are down at South Road and Crossroads, causing some delays, slowing in all directions. Around Port Adelaide, we've got a broken down truck on Francis Street near Perkin Drive, causing issues as well for outbound travellers. And to Crafers West, still a bit of fog kicking around on the freeway just above the tunnels. Audi prices just got oudier across the Chocker range. Shockingly good value of only $469 each. Audi, good, different. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
To the weather, showers and 16 today. Showers easing tomorrow, 17. Partly cloudy on Wednesday, 16. And mostly sunny Thursday, also 16. At the moment, 12 on 5AA, Always Adelaide.
When you order Coles Click and Collect, you can stay cosy for longer this winter because we'll collect all your groceries and bring them to your boot. Shop Coles Click and Collect online or in the app. Min spend $50 excludes rapid click and collect. Direct to boot available in select stores only. T's and C's apply.
Folks, join the convo with me, Cornsey, on the Conversations with Cornsey podcast. You can find it on the 5AA Player app.
Some swear jars collect coins. But at Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, their swear jar collects promises.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. I swear that all deadlines and production will be conducted efficiently and effectively.
Hi, I'm Amy, your first point contact at Buy Urban, and I swear to take all of your details and your wish list to pass on to our amazing team.
For a team that swears to deliver on quality and service, see Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation experts.
Wearing the same few layers on repeat? The Gazman Winter Sale is now on. Enjoy up to 40% off selected styles with premium knitwear and cotton shirts from $69.95, plus all denim now $89. In-store and online now. Gazman.
Hi, it's Eddie May here from NRG Solar. The government's Cheaper Home Battery program is still going, offering you significant savings for a battery storage system for your home or business. That's real savings back in your pocket. Discounts reduce over time, so the message is simple. The sooner you act, the better. Get in touch with SA's trusted team at NRG Solar. Visit nrgsolar.com.au and take control of your energy bills. NRG Solar, leading solar in SA.
Your old hot water system can drive as much as 40% of your energy bill. Fortunately, though, you can upgrade to something that's 70% cheaper to run and better for the environment.
Yeah, so Right Price is famous for heating and cooling, solar and roofing. They're also the leaders in heat pumps and installation too, which means now is a great time to upgrade and save money on a more efficient hot water system. And then the way this works, the government actually covers your installation. There's other subsidies available too. So in fact, you could save money over the long haul and in the process, you get a heat pump that will bring down the cost by half.
That is a massive saving. And thanks to Right Price Hot Water, it's more affordable than ever to make the switch. Reduce your energy costs today with a heat pump from Right Price. Make the switch with Right Price Hot Water.
The most frustrating thing about having your car repaired after a collision can be the wait. Sometimes months. At FIVEAA Panel Services, the wait is one thing you won't have to worry about. We've expanded our workshop and our highly skilled team. It means we're better equipped to deliver an outstanding outcome for you and your car. RAA and MTA approved, FIVEAA Panel Services work with most insurance companies. So ask for FIVEAA Panel Services and get back on the road sooner.
Hi, Daniel Talley here, General Manager of Home. That's HAUME. Put simply, we buy homes. We don't charge fees, there's no advertising costs or commissions, none of that. We just make the process of selling your home easy. So if you're looking to downsize and have a home built before the 90s, we'll be able to help you save time, money and the effort it takes to sell. Thinking of downsizing? Visit home.com.au. That's HAUME.com.au.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
18 minutes to 9. If you're watching along on the live stream, step up to end homelessness. Walk a mile in my boots. Register or donate today. walkamile.org.au. Note Stacey, myself and the great John Schumann in the 5AA Breakfast studio. John, good morning to you.
Good morning.
I just wanted to introduce you a little bit early, John. You've got a new song coming out that I can't wait to play a bit of because it's both excellent and topical. But I thought it'd be nice and just a nice little bit of added pressure for Jane in Goodwood, who's called in to play Hit the High Note, to have music legend John Schumann in the studio listening to you sing. Jane, good morning to you.
I'm sure Jane's going to be thrilled to pieces.
Will, that's a lot of pressure now.
No, but we know you're up to it,
You've
Jane.
got this, Jane.
No pressure, Jane. No pressure.
We know you're up to
give it my
it. All right. So now, Jane, you need to sing a bit of John Farnham. Do you want to hear the original grab first, or are you just ready to give it a crack?
I'm ready to give it a crack.
All right.
Jane,
Here we
I
go,
love that.
Jane. Just hit that high note and we'll send you off to sea into the woods.
Oh, whoa.
Jane, you know what? You missed a bit in the middle, but you got the end right. And you know what? For doing it in front of John Schumann, we're going to give you the tickets. Because that was a lot of pressure, Jane. And
What Jane sung was great.
Yeah.
It was just a little bit missing.
there was a bit in the middle. That's all right. We didn't need the words. She just did the what do you call that bit? What do you do with the warbling? What do you call that with your voice?
It's a vocal motif, I suppose.
Oh, vocal motive. There you go.
Well, there you go, Jane. Who knew you could vocal
Every day's
motive?
a school day, guys.
Jane, congratulations to you. Experience music, magic and mystery with End of the Woods. 4 shows only at Her Majesty's Theatre, August 22 to 29. Book now through State Opera South Australia. We've got you in here, John, not as a judge for our Hit the High Note competition, because you've released some brand new music.
Yeah, a song called Ragtag Extremist Blues, and I need to thank Premier Malinauskas for the hook line and the idea. It's a contribution to the campaign to save the parklands from what I think is a completely idiotic idea to have a MotoGP track in Adelaide. I mean, I ride a motorbike. I'm one of 50,000 motorcyclists in South Australia, and I don't presume to speak for every biker, but I got to say I can't see how they're going to make it safe, and to destroy those parklands for a 3-day motorcycle festival for 3 days a year until the MotoGP decides to go somewhere else is just nuts. And I don't think it's safe. I just think every way you look at it, it's really,
well,
really
it was the first thing that Phillip Island enthusiasts spoke to us about. People like, you might just say Victorians were looking for a reason why it won't work here, but there was plenty who said there are certain ways in which you design a track that are going to be problematic for a street circuit here in Adelaide. We'll explore that more with you in a moment, John. Here is a bit of that song.
Ragtag extremist blues. There go the Parklands ragtag extremist blues.
Ragtag Extremist Blues. So people can download and hear the full song today, wherever you get songs. You obviously, beyond just writing new music, raising awareness about something that you're deeply concerned about.
Yeah, sure. And also the all the streaming and download proceeds go to the Adelaide Parklands Association to help them, and some of those funds might find their way to various fines and things that have been incurred along the way by ragtag extremists. I think we just have to stand up. I mean, look. My position on it, guys, is that I think Mally is generally a good. He's done well, and generally, he's done a good job. But that does not going to stop me standing up and saying this is absolutely wrong. It is madness. This is a piece of Australian history and heritage. It's unique in the world, and this is just idiotic.
If he was sitting here, I'm sure he would say, and I know he would say this because we've interviewed him about this before and had people on that have been quite upset that, for every tree that's being knocked down, there are 3 or 4 that are being planted. What would you say to that?
Oh, give me strength. Some of those trees that are going to go down have been there for decades and decades and decades, and some sapling in a bucket is not going to cut it. No, it doesn't stack up. It doesn't stack up, and in my view, the government is bound to preserve these things for all of us and for future generations, not kind of destroy it for an event that'll rent 3 days' attention so that people around the world can watch a bike race in a place that they will not come to.
Do you know if he's heard the song, John?
I don't know. Look, I'm sure he would. I'm sure he's got minders up the wazoo who advise him about all this. I did see Peter in Canberra, and I gave him a smile and I shook his hand and said, "Pete, I'm coming for you."
What did he say?
Oh, he smiled, and look, we've known each other for a long time, and I like Peter, and and as I said, I think he's generally done a good job, but this is dumb, and it's a democracy.
It should be noted too. It's not like you've not written a song every time a tree's been threatened in a parkland around Adelaide either. This is obviously it's crossed the line for you and a lot of people.
Yeah, look, I'm not a rabid tree hugger, but I just think this is a very important part of Adelaide, and I personally don't think they've got a mandate either. I did a lot of research before I wrote the song to find out if they did have a mandate, and I can find no evidence of a fully detailed event plan that incorporates the track layout, a schedule for tree removal, grandstand and pit footprints, fences, all of that sort of stuff. It was all done very carefully and strategically released after the election. So the idea that there is a mandate and everybody knew, sorry, doesn't stack up.
So how can people get behind it? Obviously, download the song.
Sure. And look, we're doing our annual gig at the Gov on August the 29th, and we've decided to donate part proceeds for every ticket sold to the campaign. We feel that strongly about it.
John Schumann, great to have you in.
Always a pleasure, guys. A proud moment in Australian broadcasting.
John Schumann, our guest. Let's check traffic. Oh, no. The proud moment's over.
That's right.
No, the proud moment's ended because I pushed the wrong button. Here we go. Let's check traffic.
Through Salisbury Heights around a collision at the Groveway near Canterbury Drive. To Clarence Gardens, the boom gates are down at South Road and Cross Road, causing some delays in all directions. And around Port Wakefield, a broken down truck on Francis Street near Perkins Drive has it slow going for outbound travellers. Get the model year 26.5 Ford Ranger Black Edition from $53,000. Drive away at participating dealers. See ford.com.au for details. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The energy today, the amount of people who got up before dawn, walking 1 mile in the shoes of someone that has nothing.
Step up to end homelessness. Walk a mile in my boots. Register or donate today.
Lies in wills and estate planning. From the simplest to the most complex, Donlan Lawyers will give effect to your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com. Hindmarsh Square Adelaide and Ocean Street Victor Harbour.
Illusion Gas Log Fire's stock reduction sale is on now. For a limited time, the Australian-made Luminar 3500 is half price. Built to heat up to 100 square metres, the Luminar 3500 is in high demand and stock won't last. Get in store today.
Now, you know what hackers love? They love a busy finance team. They love it being a Friday afternoon and just one little sneaky email that says, we've changed our bank details. All it takes is one fake invoice, one payment, then the money's gone, you've got lawyers involved and everyone wants answers.
That's why you have got to protect your business. It's not a luxury anymore, it's a necessity. And remember, even if you think you're protected, it might not be enough. Cybercrime evolves every day.
And the best thing you can do right now is get in touch with a trusted cybersecurity company called FXIT. It's spelled EFEX. So get in touch with FXIT and organise your free cybersecurity audit.
FX helps protect Adelaide businesses from hackers and gives you peace of mind.
Don't be the easy win for cyber criminals. Book your free security audit now at fx.com.au/protect. That's efex.com.au/protect.
Great things begin with the right space. A space to work, a space to store, a space to create. Right now, build the space you've always wanted with Olympic Industries sheds, garages and outdoor storage designed for Australian lifestyles. Visit one of Olympic Industries' inspiration centres today and bring your space to life. Start something with the Olympic Industries sale. On now.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Sell one and move on. Keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes. They do it all for you.
Will Goodings with Stacey Lee. This is 5AA Breakfast.
8 minutes to 9, a lot of texts coming through following John Schumann's release of some new song. It's a protest song about development in the Parklands. Range of opinions, as you might well imagine. John says, Arthur says, John is 100% right. Mally's on an ego trip, needs to go back to the Shoppers Union. Darren says, I used to love John Schumann until now. These sooks whinge about every little thing. A MotoGP in Adelaide far outweighs a few trees.
Yeah, this
Thank you,
person,
Darren.
great song, John. We don't need a Moto City track, so keep them coming. 0448081395. Almost got it wrong then. I was about to give out my number.
Well, I mean, people can contact Stacey directly if you like with your thoughts. Or maybe the King's itinerary or something like that we've talked about over the course of the program. Let's get into a story that I perhaps naively thought we wouldn't have to cover here with the way here in Adelaide. It's the kind of thing that's become, unfortunately, all too commonplace in Sydney and Melbourne. It's part of the reason we had a royal commission into anti-Semitism here in this country, and it's because our next guest's home was graffitied. There was a swastika, there was all sorts, there was horrible stuff written, and he's taken, I think, the remarkable step of saying he's not cleaning it off because he wants people to see that you need to lay bare this kind of hatred and bigotry. Rusty Sverdlov is the homeowner whose home was attacked. Rusty, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Rusty,
Hi, good morning, Australia.
It's just shocking. I couldn't believe it when I saw this.
Yeah, that's shocking, but we continue our life and we start to see from the different points of view. Maybe I see they did stupid stuff, but they did it against themselves, not against us.
Why you, Rusty? What, is there someone you? Were you targeted by people you know? Do you think it was random? How did it come to
no, it's targeted only one reason, because we're Jewish.
Yes.
That's only one. If somebody want to do something against me, it will be written, no, Jew dog. It will be Rusty dog.
And Rusty, is this the first time you've experienced anti-Semitism like this in Adelaide, or have you experienced anything else before?
I experienced we experience anti-Semitism all our life, but it's not. We take it easy because it's folklore. I understand. We people, we like jokes, everything. When it's folklore, I like it. It's like art. But when it's action with swastikas, it's like a way to kill somebody. You understand? It's very different. Yes, anti-Semitism anti-Semitism has very wide influence. Sometimes anti-Semitism could be critical, and we will take it with humor. It's good.
Hey.
But when it's going swastikas on fence, with house, with kids, it's a sign, and somebody won't kill us, going against our nation. We will see that.
No, it's disgusting, is what it is. How long have you been in Australia, Rusty?
Since 2009.
Has it gotten worse in that time, would you say? Have you felt progressively less safe over that time?
I see. I did say it in another interviews. When we come to Australia, and the reason we come to Australia, it was a dream to live in paradise country. And when we come, we was very impressed and love. Before we come to Australia, we visit Australia. It took a long time to get a proper visa, to become a permanent resident, to prove all skills, everything. We sold the house to reach this goal, and now we're staying on the front of the war. Australia changed during the time, so as now, unfortunately, Australia become anti-Semitic country. But it's not anti-Semitism from the citizens. As something happened that anti-Semitism, somebody opened doors to come in anti-Semitism. For example, I've been in March, end of August. I was feeling myself where from anti-Semitism. I'm not feeling anti-Semitism from Australians. I'm feeling anti-Semitism from politically developed something.
Rusty, we appreciate you talking to us and giving us a bit of a sense of your experience over Australia over the last 17 years. We're sorry to hear that it has deteriorated your sense of safety and personal space in that time. And this is just completely unacceptable and antithetical to Australia. Rusty Sverdlov, our guest on 5AA Breakfast. Let's check traffic before we wrap things up on this Monday morning. Don't get stuck on the side of the road. Get RAA road service. The cheap petrol spots this morning, a couple of really good ones. Liberty Rosewater, $1.55.5. The Mobile at Shido Park, $1.57.5. The Liberty at Seaford, $1.57.5. The cheap diesel, the Ampol Holden Hill, $1.70.4. And the Liberty Port Adelaide, $1.78.5. Well, that was fun, Stacey. I think we should do it again tomorrow.
I might come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Please do. All right.